Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you are doing well. This is your morning show. This is your morning host. I am Jex, the moderator, and this is the morning's edition. Karibuni sana. Hope you're doing well. Karibuni tu sana. I have another one, a good one, a great one, just about to happen in a few. And as well, equally, we are glad that you chose to join us. Another week, we begin with an interesting topic and an interesting story. Hope you're well. Ni juzi unanitazama ukiwa wapi? Zaidi ya yote, karibu sana. Sorry we have not been having a show, but now I am good, good of health, and I'm good to be back. I'm glad to be back. All right. Asante sana kwa kuwa part of this show. Thank you for being part of this great conversation that is about to happen. We are looking at the challenges in Azimio. Today, Azimio, I think they're having a meeting because sababu it's becoming hot in that part of Azimio. What is happening? What is happening in Azimio? I don't know. I just don't know, but I know I'll be getting some answers from you guys as we move on with the show. Thank you for always tuning into this programming. I've been under the weather, but now I'm good. I'm back and I'm glad to be back. All right. Asante sana, naona wengi tayari wamesha join. I say good year na wengi wakituma ujumbe zao. Thank you very much. I'm equally joined by panelists here this morning. We are about to look at a very interesting topic. All right. It began, I think, on Saturday thereabout. No, yeah, on Saturday. And today it may take a different twist. We'll be looking at the fallout in Azimio. We'll be looking at one, Junet Mohamed, and equally we'll be looking at what could be happening in Azimio. But good morning, everybody. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Is this the final break? Are this the kicks that killed the dying horse? Awata Karua has been missing in action. You remember they began Akanada Chama or Akanada movement. Her, and Mr. What do you call this Jama? Jeremiah Kioni and like KPMP, former governor, you remember? And kidogo kidogo hatujamuona kwa meetings. I don't know if I saw her kwa meeting ya Raila hii ya Saturday ya memorial ya ya the late Odinga. I didn't see her, but we will be looking at all that, and Junet's role in as far as what could have happened during the elections. Some you remember Kancholi, former agent wa Raila Odinga, the first person he blamed, yeah, as much as he made other allegations, he blamed Junet Mohamed. Babu Owino kuna time blame Junet Mohamed. So Junet Mohamed has been blamed severally, and his name has been mentioned time without number that he could have caused the sinking of Azimio. Yeah, someone said that he saw no harm, had no evil, and he equally was a tough person to deal with. Yeah, at one point I remember you saw the clips making rounds of how he harassed, equally almost slapping the current governor of Mombasa. You remember that time how he humiliated Nasir in Mombasa during a rally. So his behavior sometimes zilikuwa zinapita mpaka. Some of the clips ambapo huwa zinatumika mpaka wa leo is how he was confident that Azimio would win. That he would say, yeah, he imeenda. Those are some of the quotes that come from Junet Mohammed. People say he's close to Baba. We have seen him like he was the MC in most of Baba's occasion, including BBI. So this is a man who has been known to be close to Raila Odinga. Him and none other than Ali Joho. Ali Hassan Joho has been missing in action. Tunamuonanga tu mara moja moja amechipuka. But these two guys one time boarded a plane and went to see Baba when he was sick. So these are guys that one, as much as we would want to say they are rogue or they are the most inside Azimio, but hey, watch it. So I'm joining by Alex Media. I'm equally joined by Mr. G. We'll be looking at the newspaper because actually it is what is making headlines. Actually, I think the Daily Nation is asking which way Azimio, and we'll be looking at all that. What could be causing the challenges in Azimio? What could be causing the issues happening in Azimio? Could Junet Mohammed have always been the mole? Is he being branded the mole now, having worked tirelessly to really make Baba what he almost became, the president? Unfortunately, as fate would have it, that wasn't to be. But many would say Junet really did his part. I remember even at the final campaign how he rocked in a very nice regalia, almost seemingly looking like a jeshi or something. Lakini ilikuwa ni jeshi la baba. Fortunately, it wasn't meant to be. And hey, as fate would have it, that's what happened to Junet Mohammed. I don't know if I can have these guys on camera, but all the same, good morning, one Alex. Good morning.
Good morning, Jex. I hope you are doing good, and we have missed the show, man.
Sorry,
This is
sorry,
where we
sorry. I
come.
told you, I
This
tried
is
to tell
where
you I
we
was
come,
under
and
the weather. I asked you to come, ukasema, oi, wacha huyu kijana umie peke yake.
I'm doing good. I thank God. It's late at
Uh-huh.
night. It's 1:05, but still we can have a good show.
Fantastic. Mr. G, good morning.
Morning, sir. How are you guys? Happy to see
Sasa wewe uko
Alex.
kwa
Happy...
ofisi, usiwashe kamera.
Ntasha, usijali bwana. Nafurahi kuwaona. I hope you guys are doing good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Haya, sawa sawa. Sasa who do I begin with? Let me begin with you, Mr. Alex, kwa sababu you seem to be uko very cozy, so your mind should be very relaxed when answering this. Is Junet Mohammed a mole?
Exactly. He's a mole. And I used Kumtetea, but
Uh-huh.
it reached a point whereby the Somalis have got that together, and
Uh-huh.
they are building an empire.
Uh-huh.
Through Duale, they are
Uh-huh.
silently building an empire whereby if we are not careful as Kenyans,
Uh-huh.
remember sometimes ago when
Uh-huh.
Duale was in Isili and said that we own the all gas stations in Kenya, we are
Uh-huh.
so powerful, ABCD. I
Uh-huh.
think Junet has become part and parcel of that empire now. Because if
Uh-huh.
you look at the party that supported ODM,
Yeah.
especially Baba,
Uh-huh.
immediately Ruto won, they went back to UDA. And the way Ruto has been treating the Somalis, the intelligence,
Uh-huh.
the police, the GSU, the entire security in Kenya is controlled by the Somalis. And I could tell you that
Uh-huh.
Junet has
Uh-huh.
become part and parcel of it. So I think Duale has
All right.
conversed all the uh, conglomerated all the Somalis and told them that this is,
Uh-huh.
and that's why you had even the other day when Nasir, Ahmed
Uh-huh.
Nasir was being attacked. There was
Uh-huh.
a powerful clergy who said
Uh-huh.
that it is not going to happen. And
Yeah, yeah.
you could see now maandamano ya
Uh-huh.
Waislamu to
Uh-huh.
protect Ahmed Nasir against the
Uh-huh.
ruling of of the Supreme Court. So
Correct.
Junet is a mole, and
Uh-huh.
Junet should be gagged off from being an
Okay.
MP
Uh-huh.
in Libigori. It's enough is enough. We cannot lie. We are
But this is a
rebuilding
guy who
ODM.
has, all right. This is a man who has come and he has gone out of his way to make sure anything Azimio, anything ODM, he has protected it both in the house, outside the house. I don't remember any day Junet talked anything contrary to what I know him to be, an ODM diehard.
But Jakes, the Somalis have decided to be together, and we
Uh-huh.
cannot lie. And if
Uh-huh.
they have decided to be together,
Mm-hmm.
and the person that is conglomerating them together is the one Duale. And
Uh-huh.
Duale has told them that this is the way we can build our businesses, and this is the
Uh-huh.
way we can be powerful. You know that
Mm-hmm.
in a few years, the Somalis have taken over Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much the Somalis have taken? The food industry,
Uh-huh.
hotels, motels, and
Uh-huh.
gas stations, that is the petrol stations, have been taken away by the Somalis. Look at
Uh-huh.
Mombasa. Mombasa is entirely taken by the
Mm.
Somalis.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I can tell you that this person has decided to be with these people, and we
All
don't
right.
want him anymore. We must rebuild ODM, and we must rebuild. We cannot allow the Somalis. If the Wagala massacre was to happen again, it should happen
Uh-huh.
now because these people
All
are
right.
becoming too powerful.
All right. Interesting sentiments from Alex when as we begin. Ndio tu tumeanza wananchi, ndio tu tumeanza show. Asante tu sana. Mr. G, karibu. Let me ask you, is Junet the mole?
Okay, I agree with what Alex is talking about on the issue of these guys taking over Kenya and making their own empire. But now on the issue of Mole, on my side, I cannot declare that he's a mole, but I think on my side we need to hear his side of story because he has been missing in action.
Uh-huh.
Ni mtu ambaye
Uh-huh.
amepotea sana na hafai
Uh-huh.
kuwa anapotea hivyo. I don't know why he's missing, but I cannot just say he's a mole because sijamwona any place akiwa anaongea na watu wa Jubilee akiwa anaongea akiingiana sana na these guys from UDA. Looking at the
Uh-huh.
story of governor from Busia, we say that he's a mole and it is true. Unaona, within 2 days 3 days tena kwa shakutana na watu wa UDA, which means he's
Uh-huh.
just a mole. But now on the issue of this guy, I think I need to
Uh-huh.
hear first of all because there's a letter, I'm told there's a letter that alitumiwa akuja aeleze why he's missing in action. So I think is that I listen to him first nisikia anaongea story gani, then I can declare if he's a mole ama he's not a mole.
But Mr. G, missing in action, does that quantify you to be a mole? Or
It
to
doesn't
be
quantify, it
to be
doesn't codify
uh,
because remember there's allegations. Many people, although you say that even Babowino say that he's a mole, although sijaona ni wapi ambao Babowino alisema he's a mole. I remember Babowino, in fact, he was on the defending side akisema kuwa this guy, ukiangalia kwa that situation and ukicompare the money that people wana allege kuwa aliba with that money
uh,
ambayo angepata in the government of Baba, you cannot compare them. So
uh,
Babu Owino was on the defending side. He was defending people. He was defending Nini. He was defending Junet akimwambia kuwa no, Junet cannot do that thing. But on this issue, somebody can just
uh,
go quiet because remember watu wengi wameblame Junet
uh,
wakisema aliba pesa. Unaona watu wengi
uh,
sana. So maybe he just anasikia ani aoni haja ya kufight sana. Maybe anakaa kuna kitu anapanga, but I need to
uh,
listen to him first before I declare he's a mole.
Now, this was yesterday's newspaper, but equally today they continued the same story. But this is how it began. They said why Junet is under siege in Raila's party. Now, the dailies yesterday said that their task shows caused letter with subtle threats to discipline Junet Mohamed and strip him of the post in ODM if he fails to explain why he has been skipping meetings for months, lays bare the troubles of Azimio leaders, most powerful insider during last year's intense election campaigns, raising question about his political future. Now, I see what you are saying, Bwana G, that one of the reasons ameandikiwa barua ni kwa sababu amekuwa missing in action. But equally, this one can go back way during the election. Some of the things that people say that he did, ati alipotea na pesa za, what do you call these guys? Watu wa agent. Alex, how true is that?
That one I can't quantify, and I cannot say it is true or not. But
Aha,
the fact that we missed agents in critical areas whereby
aha,
we really needed, it shows a lot. It shows that there was negligence
mhm,
and it was intentional. And
aha,
because elections are very important. When
aha,
you have elections and then you intentionally decide not to pay agents, because that's
uh,
what the newspaper said is that a night before he changed
aha,
the agents.
aha,
Okay, a night
aha,
before he changed the agents,
aha,
and Tukuhari had told us early that in Mount Kenya we are going to miss
aha,
agents because and we took it for granted because remember the guy
aha,
warned about agents. So when you don't
aha,
have agents to protect your votes, and then
mm,
Ruto is here having agents, so it means
mm,
there was collaboration, and this collaboration was quite impending and so sophisticated to a point that we missed
Uh-huh.
our mark. There was no way Baba was to miss to win this election
Uh-huh.
because Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was supporting him. Atwoli was supporting him.
Uh-huh.
Mudungu wa Kikuyu was supporting him. I mean, Baba had a powerful team. There was no
Mm-hmm.
way. There was no
Uh-huh.
way. But I
Uh-huh.
could tell you that Junet's behavior was
Mm-hmm.
unbecoming.
All
I could
right.
tell you that for me personally, now when
Uh-huh.
in retrospect, when I look
Uh-huh.
back, I can
Uh-huh.
tell you that there is something that Ruto planted a lot of balls in ODM,
Uh-huh.
and it was catastrophic to us.
Uh-huh.
So
Mm-hmm.
later on, we came to know like people like Ojiambo were malls, people like
Uh-huh.
Jalango were malls, people like
Uh-huh.
Kalori Moli were malls. I mean, it was so catastrophic to us that we had malls within and we did not know.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at Junet as the biggest mall because we Baba was with him every day
Uh-huh.
from plane to plane. They say the person, you see how the newspapers explain, the person
Uh-huh.
who hopped plane to plane with Baba is falling
Uh-huh.
out. There was
Uh-huh.
no way. Baba trusted Junet.
Uh-huh.
Any
Uh-huh.
critical meeting that we had,
Uh-huh.
Junet had to be there. So
Mm-hmm.
Junet gave out our secrets. And that's
Uh-huh.
why Junet, Joho, and Simbarat are not
Uh-huh.
attending ODM meetings. And
Uh-huh.
that's very bad. But you know what?
Now,
We are going
mm-hmm.
strong.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you look at this, Bwana G, these are two guys, him and Jamaa wa Mombasa, Joho, who I think is he a vice chair of ODM or what is he? I think he has a equally
He
senior
was
role in
replaced by
ODM.
Simbarat. He was
He's a
replaced by
deputy.
Oh, I
Simbarat.
don't know. Oh, okay. But now, see, he's equally missing in action. The last time I saw him, he had a meeting with all the elected leaders were the coast region, and he equally almost in no less words almost say that he is willing to work with the government and say that coast region equally will work very hard to make sure they attain most of the dreams of the coast region. Um, Junet amekuwa equally missing in action, but we haven't had him not even once or seen him in any caucus ya Kenya Kwanza or any way that we may attribute that he's falling into Kenya Kwanza's trap. But why do you see as though yeye anaweza kuwa all this time amekuwa under Ruto's radar? Unaweza sema nini inaweza kuwa watu wanafikiria hivyo, Bwana G?
Okay, I think I don't know if it is your network because you are nini na katakata. Sijapata swali vizuri but nimesikia ukitaja Joho. I think I can talk something small about Joho. Although sijasikia hiyo swali vizuri because I think his network. On the issue of Joho, Joho has a business na his brother called Abu in Mombasa. So Joho is trying to defend the business. Unakumbuka there's allegation early last year. It was early last year, I think, or late last the other year, where I think it was the government of Southern Sudan ilikuwa karibu yani kuna deal kuna hizo container ambazo zinaenda kwa his CFS most of zinaenda kwa Southern Sudan, so the government walikuwa wanataka kumnyang'anya that deal, but I think it was the government of Southern Sudan ambayo ilikuja on his defense, that's why wakabaki na that tender, but walikuwa wananyang'anywa na government. So mostly amekuwa akiprotect his business, and to protect his business amekuwa akijaribu kuwa upande wa kutaka kufanya kazi na this government of UDA. You see, so most of the time amekuwa akitaka kuwa on the safer side because of his business, but tumeona
All right.
once akitokezea akikutana na nini na baba, most of the time amekuwa akikutana na baba, so hiyo issue ya mall haiwezi tokezea kwake kwa sababu every time akija Mombasa wanakutana na yeye some nini inaitwangaje hii sherehe wamekuwa akikutana.
All right. Bwana Alex, let me ask you. When you look at the two guys who would behave, none would ever suspect them to be moles. In any case, they were the ones leaking information. Atele audio ya Ruto kutaka kuslap Raila. One of the guys when he play public was Junet. sorry, Ruto akitaka kuslap the president back then. The person who leaked it was Junet. Some of the times during campaigns, mwenye alikuwa na attack Ruto sana, it was Junet. He never missed his words. He used to shoot directly at Ruto. At what point did he turn? At what point has he failed? Because him not being active, I don't think is reason enough to say his loyalty has been compromised.
You know what Duale did? Duale took
Uh-huh.
all the Somalis and told them, this is our opportunity, this is our time, this is our moment to
Uh-huh.
to to rebuild ourselves and make sure that we have we have scavenged Kenya with our business. So akaambia Junet, nyamaza tafadhali, Wasomali wafanye biashara. So Junet is under radar ya Duale. If you look at Duale as a minister for defense, he's very quiet, but in underground, he's doing a lot for his people. He's not keeping quiet. The Somalis are building an empire. Look at Mombasa, they have taken over. Look at Kisi, they have taken over. Look at Migori, they have taken over. There are places the Somalis have totally taken over in terms of businesses. It's not a joke. Jex, you have not gone to Kisi and seen how Somalis have taken over. You have not gone to Mombasa and seen how the Somalis have taken over. So Junet aliambiwa wacha kupiga kelele. Akaambiwa, look, we were the minority, but now we are getting privileges. I'll tell you the truth. I'm not against Somalis. These are people who are very hardworking. Awana haram, they don't do corruption. You know, like us, Kisis, and the Kikuyus. Biashara zetu is based on, haram. Hawa ni watu that are very hardworking. But they are going to take over Kenya because
Uh-huh.
wanakuja pamoja.
Uh-huh.
For example, the former senator for Wajir anaitwa nani? Who was the minority, not minority, shadow finance minister. Alikuwa anaitwa nani? Huyu jamaa, the shadow finance minister. He was one of the best. He was a senator, a one-time senator. What was his name?
Um, from
Umesahau
where?
jina
From
lake?
Ajil. Just one moment,
Yeah,
nitapata tu sahi.
yeah, he was a shadow minister for finance. Just Google and tell me.
At what year? That was which year?
No, 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 no.
Abbas Mohamed ama
No,
mgani?
no, 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 no. The guy is a good debater. He comes once in a while in the morning show and debates very well. The guy is very eloquent. Just type
Bill
ODM
Okelo.
shadow minister. Eh?
Bill Okelo ama?
Or Bill Okello. Bill Okello is
Uh-huh.
in the business of oil. Do you know that he controls the small business oil in the country?
Uh-huh.
So I'm telling you, these people are keeping quiet because they are doing good businesses and they
Uh-huh.
are controlling Kenya. And they have decided, it's like the Japanese decided, like, let's keep quiet, let's form the Toyota company, let's form these companies, but let's dissolve our army, let the Americans take care of us. Sisi
Bill
tufanye tu
Okelo.
biashara.
Alex Bill Okelo is from Mandera. He was the first senator of Mandera, not Wajir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
Mandela. I don't know why I think it's Wajir. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So if you look at what these people are doing, is that they've decided to be together. And their togetherness is in terms of business,
Uh-huh.
not even in politics. They are in the shadow of Duale.
Uh-huh.
Duale is taking care of them.
Uh-huh.
And I'm telling you, they are listening to Duale. So Junet
Uh-huh.
should be removed from ODM immediately.
Uh-huh.
Atolewe hiyo kiti yako nayo, mtu mwingine apewe. Look at Udaji. Sasa
Uh-huh.
Simba Arati alipewa kiti, but yeye anapigana tu na Osoro huko, aendangi meetings.
Uh-huh.
Hata anatakana atolewe kwenda huko. We need
Uh-huh.
vigilance. Eh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh, Mr. G, I don't know if you can point anyone in ODM who has been so supportive like Junet. Because Junet, after if you remember BBI meetings, he was there the MC in almost all of them. If you remember Baba's campaigns, he was the MC in almost all of them. He was the curtain raiser. He's the one who welcomed Baba. He's the one who controlled who said what not to say. And one time Kancholi said that, if I can read from what has been quoted in the dailies, is that Junet is one man who purported to know everything, and he nullified everything everyone else said, and also made sure he kept people who could have helped Baba at arm's length. So at one point, as much as we saw him anasaidia Baba kabisa, others are still saying he's the one who made who made Baba not to have other help. Like he made sure no one came close to Baba. When you look at him, such allegations, are they even true? Because what I remember of Junet and how I saw him, maybe I'm looking at him from a favorable angle, but really, is Junet really the person they're trying to describe in the dailies?
You know, I heard a story that there are groups in ODM who
Uh,
who don't like this guy called Junet. Unakumbuka
uh,
that year, it was 2017, the day Baba went and had handshake with the Uhuru. It was Junet who
uh,
was with him, who was with Baba. Those other people were
oh, all
not with
right.
Baba. So I'm told there are some groups that don't want this guy. So maybe it can be just some propaganda they're trying to create in, so that they can distract the relationship between Junet and Baba, and bring some chaos in the ODM. At the moment, ODM is making a lot of inroad in the regions ambao some of people walikuwa wamemtoka. You see, like in the coast area pale, kwa ile mahali kuna chama ya PA, ile chama ya ule jamaa ambaye ni speaker wa Senate. The guy created the whole group was for ODM, but akaweza kuimanage kuibadilisha with the propaganda, and then he changed the name, akaipatiana PA, akisema kuwa anaenda kufanya kazi na Baba, kumbe he was just joining UDA. So at this moment tunaona kuwa those guys they're coming out now and defend from UDA coming back to ODM. So ODM is making a lot of input in those areas, lakini sasa we are told that some people hawataki kuona okay, I know there's kuna some difference kidogo, kwa sababu there's no way anaweza kuwa amepotea
Uh,
from the mission. Hawezi tupotea hivyo, there's something I don't know what is it. That's why I was saying I have to listen and hear from him first of all
Mr.
before I
G,
say
let
he's a
me
mole.
tell you, hauwezi tetea Junet hivyo. Junet was a man of Baba. Junet hakuna kitu Baba angefanya bila kupeleka. Alikuwa anawacha wajaluo wote, lakini anapeleka Junet. Junet can't be missing like that for no reason. I mean, Junet has become something that is horrible. Let us ship off these people who are not loyal to Baba. Right now, Baba need people who are loyal. Listen, after the elections, we saw Somali shift to Ruto. All of them. And these are people who supported us and who even won elections because they were affiliated with Azimio. Wacha kutetea Junet hivi ati ujaona ati Junet is behaving badly.
I agree with you, Alex. He's
We are
behaving badly.
having meetings that are high voltage right now in the country. We are having meetings that are higher voltage. Uliona tulikuwa na viti Kisii, tukaenda Nyamira, tukatoka kwanza, tulianza na Siaya, tukaenda Kisumu, tukaenda Migori, tukakuja Kisii, tumeenda Busia. Umeona hii mpaka tumekuja juzi Kilifi, not in a meeting to receive the defectors. Junet is not there. Simbarat is not there. Joe is not there. Wacha kutetea hao watu ati hujaona so far. Right now, if you are not with us,
mm.
go away, go to the nearest hell and jump.
But but
We
but but
can't be
Alex,
saying
if you
Ruto must
remember,
go.
just one
We
moment,
can't
Alex.
be
If you
saying
remember,
Ruto
to be
must
fair,
go. We
uh,
can't be saying Ruto must go. Alafu tunaanza kusema
uh,
ati ni biashara. Kwani biashara ni nini?
uh,
We need to redeem this country first. Ati Joe ako na
but if you
biashara.
remember,
Kwani yeye
just one
biashara
moment,
yake iko
Alex.
very important, Mr. G.
Alex, if you remember correctly, just before Turuke Mwaka, Junet Mohamed was all over, especially when Baba was in the Nyanza region. He's the one who was mobilizing people to come out and register to be ODM members. So I think it's equally fair that in the other side, wakienda coast, watu wa coast wajitokeze. He can't be everywhere again. Really, to be fair to him, we saw him. I can go back and show you there's so many clips of Junet
Dex, Dex,
speaking,
Dex,
sharing,
awache first of
commenting.
all,
Yes, sir.
ambia Black awache ujinga kukaa huko nyuma akuje kwa panel. You know Black, we meet him. He has a lot of wisdom.
Aya,
Anaweza
Black
kutusaidia kwa
amepotea
hii
sana.
kitu
Black
tusolve.
should be in, eh?
No, Black,
but,
wacha hii
but
ujinga ya kukaa nyuma. Kuja ndani utusaidie hii kitu. Maybe sisi hatuoni vizuri. You have a lot of wisdom. And unajuanga mimi hata ukikuja sound card ninakutetea. You are one man I respect. Sasa ukikaa huko nyuma unaandika messages na we ni mzee, unatuambianga we ni mzee. Kwani mzee mgani anakaanga nyuma?
so zingine wazee huongoza from behind. But anyway, let me
Hakuna.
ask you. Let me ask you, Bwana G. These two people, Junet and Joho, because we may almost classify them as the same. At one point, they boarded a plane, a private jet for that matter, and it was all over. But it's because of the love they had for Baba. At that time, Baba was sick, and I remember at that time he he was sick and he was missing in action for some time. They went all the way. Even when he was back, Junet and Joho, the two, continued with campaigns with Baba being away. Baba was absent. So these are two guys who we cannot call anyone, not even Akina Mbadi, not even Akina Opio Wandai, have done what these two gentlemen have done. So castigating or casting aspersions to them now, I don't. Do you think it's fair, Bwana G?
Okay, Jakes, I agree with what Alex is saying, and we need to put our house in order. I agree with him exactly. But now, looking at what these people did to us, the help that they brought on our side wakati tulikuwa tuna campaign, leave alone, wacha nisiongelee kuhusu that input ambao walileta in the election. Let me talk about how this guy call the former governor of Mombasa, Joho. Look at how he used to fight for ODM in Mombasa. In fact, alikuwa ni mtu ambaye alikuwa akisimama Mombasa mzima inasimama. You see, okay, ngoja kidogo naitwa, just a minute, I'm coming back.
All right. Now, even as he's coming back, you remember one time Kancholi, Bwana Alex, Kancholi said that if there are two guys he blames so much in Azimio, or Junet, and the other guy he mentioned was Professor Makao Motua. We might support Junet Kidogo, we might not support him Kidogo, but what of Makao Motua? He has equally been missing in action. What would you say about Makao Motua, whom many would say were almost like twins? After during maandamano, you remember kwa gari moja they were together with Baba, even when Baba's car was being shot at. The person who shot, who shared a photo of Raila inside the vehicle was none other than Makao Motua. So if we are to blame Junet Mohamed for being missing in action, and because of that he should be removed from any position, what of Makao Motua?
Let me tell you, parties
Uh,
must be rebranded
uh-huh,
and prepare for the next election. You cannot go.
uh-huh,
It's like the German team, the famous German team, football team, stayed for a very long time. Ikakuwa inashindwa. There was a time it won, but you cannot stay. You have to rebrand and restructure
mm-hmm,
a party to prepare for the next election. And while you prepare, you look at
mm-hmm,
people who had made mistakes and you remove them. Jex, let me give
mm-hmm,
you an advice.
uh-huh,
You cannot live in the past glory. Telling people all the time, I used to
mm-hmm,
be, I used to be, I used to be. You
uh-huh,
can't live in past
uh-huh,
glory. Eh?
mm-hmm,
So we can't come here and kwanza kutetea Junet kuwa he did this, he did this. You don't live in past glory. It is the glory you make today that is important. Eh?
uh-huh,
If you look today, people who are making headlines are people like Moses Kuria. In spite and
uh-huh,
despite of their weaknesses, in spite of their drinking and everything, eh, Moses Kuria is playing his politics very well to a point whereby he is able to associate with Azimio and also associate with what? UDA But at the same time, he's making Rigathi Gachagua very bad. He knows how to play in politics. So we cannot live in past glory, whereby we keep saying the guy used to, the guy used to. No, used to. If you live in the past glory, I'm telling you, you will never win any elections. Na Black aingia hapa ndani, awache ujinga hii ya kukaa mbali.
Acha kuambia ndugu hehe. So sorry. So acha tu. Ajua Alex ameenda kumtafuta na ameenda kumtafuta Black akiwa shaingia. Black, good morning. Black, good morning.
Good morning.
Jaman, kakako Alex ametoka kukutafuta na wewe umeingia. Sasa sijui mtatafutana aje, lakini vipi kako, umepotea na wewe?
Ndio, siko ubaya. Shughuli.
Sasa wewe
ndio hiyo,
naelewa.
Sasa kila mtu ako na mafua kote.
Wamea kwa amenikaba bana mpaka ilikuwa ngumu kuja kwa show, lakini sasa tumerejea, tuko ange. Sasa
winter
of Junet Mohamed, is this true that he has been a mole?
No. First of all, let me say hello to everyone. Happy New Year tena. Manake tujaonana hii mwaka mzima. Nafurahi tena tumeonana hapa. Though I'll be brief.
All right.
But I hope I'll try to be as precise as much as possible. Now, I think people are looking this from only one angle, but not looking at it kutoka kwa hii angle nyingine ya mbona venye Alex ameiput runduku. Sijui mkutano gani hajaona Joe, hajaona nani. But why don't they ask themselves, what is this that could be agitating these young fellows? Could be perhaps they would be, in my view, they might be disappointed by the fact that maybe they expected as now Baba's age is not getting younger, that maybe he would put in a younger man and groom them and push them while he's still alive and strong. No. Sio kungoja eti mtu ameondoka alafu then that's when hiyo vacuum inakuwa occupied. No, it doesn't have to be that way. Unaona mahali ambapo sisi tuna fail ndo hapo. With especially with African leadership. Unaona kila rais akiingia ama kiongozi wa chama akishikilia chama, the minute that person is no more, hiyo chama nao pia ni hivyo imeisha. But that should not be the trend. No. Unapata mwenye alikuwa ameshikilia KANU alipoondoka hivyo. Mwenye alikuwa ameshikilia na Kenya, sijui wakati na Kenya akapotea akaenda kwa inaitwaje chama yenye Kibaki alikuwa aliingilia na PNU. Yes, it's like every party goes down with a leader. For some strange reason I've never gotten to understand how, but why it shouldn't be that way. Why don't we embrace change? Unaona kama kwa mfano Muhindi, unaona mahali wa hilo anatushindia. Unapata Muhindi anakuanga na biashara yake, but as time goes by anaanza kuincorporate vijana wake kwa hiyo biashara yake, wanaanza kujifunza, anaanza kwenda kwa hiyo biashara yake akiwa bado yuko alive. At some point akiona amezeeka, unaona anaachia sasa vijana wake wanashikilia. By the time that old man is gone, vijana wake they are very well conversant with the business na biashara inaendelea. And the same they do with their children. And it goes on for generations and generations, and that's why you get to see biashara ya Muhindi. Kama una babu yako still alive, they will tell you ile duka ilikuwa ya zamani, ilikuwa but still operating until now. You see, if we could also embrace such mentality, then it would be great. We don't have to always go down with what we own, right? So maybe it is about time that Baba aachilie ule uongozi kwa vijana. Kama ni ataamua ni Joho sawa, kama ataamua ni Junet sawa, kama ataamua ni whoever he decides.
Ati Baba aache uongozi. Aache uongozi, achie nani? Who is ready?
Unaona sasa hiyo mentality. That is the mentality now that we need to fight. You see,
that's the mentality. Baba, let me ask you. Simbarati is not coming to beat it.
So let me try someone else. Wacha jaribu mwingine.
Who is ready? Oparanya is the only one who is ready.
That then let him, if you feel that Oparanya is ready, then let him be Oparanya. Or to me,
but he's grooming him. He's with him every day.
You see, there's a difference between being with him every day and putting someone katika kiongozi huko mbele na lead kutoka huko mbele. That's a different
No, but
case. For
amemweka wewe, ndio
example,
unaona vibaya.
ile siku unakumbuka alipomtaja Kalonzo, everyone was excited. Right? Everyone was excited and we believed that maybe perhaps he has finally decided to leave the mantle to Kalonzo. Then what changed? All of a sudden, Kalonzo believes that Baba is singing a different tune. He's going it all alone now, differently. You see? So it is about time that tukubali reality ya vile mambo iko, and as painful as it is, as much as we say we love Baba, but it reaches a time that tunaambianga mtu kweli kama kweli unampenda.
You love Baba.
Huh?
You don't love
Baba. Unampenda, unaambia ukweli. No. Hiyo ndio ukweli wa mambo. It is painful.
Don't say as much as you love Baba.
Okay, what I'm saying.
Baba. Don't say you love Baba.
No, that's nimesema. As much as you love Baba. You know. So it is best kuambia mtu tule ukweli. By the way, you know what? Even ndivyo kulivyo. Does not mean that you love him less. Haimaanishi that you love him less. It's just that you want the best with the party.
All right.
Now, as it is right now, as old as it is, at this very point now, these 5 years, hizi miaka ambayo imebaki kabla 2027 ifike, we should have been seeing someone from ODM ambao anampush mbele.
So, is it your position, Bwana Black, that Raila should now groom someone else?
Yes, it is long overdue. It's not that it's not that he makes him anything less. It doesn't make him anything less. No.
All right. I think Mr. G attacked
for the first time it would make the difference in the African Africa politics.
Jax, you know, Black, I have a question.
Yes, Mr.
Black,
G.
I have a question. I have a question to Black. I think Alex amemuuliza swali, who can fit in the shoe of Baba? Bado hujatujibu. I don't
because
know. I know
number one, I'm not an ODM guy. That's a fact. And I'm explaining that. You all know where I am. I used to be, but I made my change when the handshake occurred. I moved away. So I don't want to go back to that discussion. But now, if you're going to ask me who is best suited, to be honest, I don't want to come up with names. Now, that is a question that you as ODM people ought to ask yourselves. This is about time that we hand over to someone. Now, who can we pick? Now, that is the discussion you should have.
Okay, Mr. Black. Mr. Black, you have said the truth there. We have tried to group Mr. Sibarati. Tumempea mpaka cheo. He's not coming to meetings. He's fighting with
get some place.
So, we are doing with Oparanya. You are not saying it.
But you cannot say you're doing with Oparanya when still Baba is up there in the front.
No, Baba is not in the front. Baba is just helping because the party people are disappointed. Wakati maandamano ilikuwa imeenda high gear, watu wakakuja nje, Baba akakuja akafanya nini? Uliza Mr. G, tulikasirika vibaya watu wa ODM. Mara mbili Baba alikuja akasema maandamano. So what we are doing is that we are rebuilding the party. Now when we are rebuilding the party, don't come and tell us how to rebuild the party.
Yes, Black.
Who's the second in command baada ya Baba?
It's Oparanya.
What about Joe?
Joe opposition yake ilipewa na kwa Simba Rati because Joe went missing. Joe alisema maneno ya business is more important than siasa. Akaenda na Abu. After all, Abu defected to UDA before the election.
Now, this is where you're going wrong. If Joe has been there and countless that
Joe decided to say that business was more important. Joe, yeye na the president of Southern Sudan, they had a plan. And they had a meeting with Ruto. Akaambiwa, wacha siasa kidogo, because the president of Southern Sudan was very clear that he will not deal with Kenya and the containers if it's not with Joho's company. Remember that. Then Joho decided kuacha siasa.
Ndugu, let me ask you a question. Leo hii, Baba aseme mbele ya umati that nimeamua kuanzia sasa mimi mtu ambao kijana yangu ambao nataka mumfuate na mwana yangu Joho. Is there anyone that will dispute that?
Nobody will dispute. We loved Joho, but Joho duped us.
So if the fact is that nobody
black Joho alitukataa akaenda kwa biashara. Sasa tunaenda kumpembeleza.
It's not that he has not said that publicly. He has been, I wish I could get clips.
Mr. G, eleza Black asikie.
At what point can you show me any clip or any piece of writing that Joho said that he doesn't want to do anything with ODM? I've never seen it anywhere.
No, kusema kuwa hataki anything with ODM.
Your comprehension is usually you are very smart, but now you are becoming like revolutionary.
Ndugu, okay, my argument is this, which is, like I said, I wanted to be as brief as possible and try to be precise. My message was just purely, I think it's about time.
Go look at the clip of the president of Southern Sudan speaking with Mr. Ruto and telling him that the only company that can work with him and deliver it with him everything to Southern Sudan is the company of Joho. And that is when Joho had a meeting with Ruto. Okay? So they went and had a meeting with Ruto. And the guy went quiet. So what do you want us to do?
Fine. Now, to me, it is not in my position at this point to advise my opponents, right? If I may put my worthy opponents, the likes of you, you're my worthy opponents. My only view of the issue as to who would be after Raila, that's not upon you. That's an in-house thing between you ODM supporters. But the fact of the matter, what I believe is, what I see, view yangu tu ni hivi kwamba my view is that I feel like these younger leaders, the likes of Junet, and the people that you say you no longer see them follow Baba in his mission, could be as a result of the fact that they see ni kama wametupwa, Baba hataki kupeana uongozi. Understand hiyo? Sasa hiyo ndo swali ambalo mnafaa mjiulize. But don't you think, okay, have we agreed?
Hakuna mtu ambaye sasa hivi tunaona, because mtu kama Simba Rati can marshal a crowd. He's a worthy leader. Amepewa mpaka kiti. But
understand kitu moja. Arati can marshal people in Kisii. Can he do the same in Mombasa? Can he do the same in Kwale?
The guy is loved by people in ODM vibaya sana.
You know, the thing is this: when you're putting up someone that you believe believe there's going to be a national leader of that party, that person must be very popular in all other regions, not in only that one region that you believe is having a strong
hold, which is popular in ODM, man. I can tell you, I can guarantee you.
Let me ask you.
Apart, right? Sasa Orengo can't, Udai can't, Ochila Yako can't. But when you look, even when they went to the funeral of Muita in Kuria, Ochila Yako is the one who said, the only person we are seeing and the only hope we are having is the man Simba Rati. Simba Rati can marshal a crowd. And the man is very eloquent in Kiswahili and also in English. But at the same time, he is a protege when it comes to politics. Okay.
If I were you, I can just give you free advice.
Okay.
With the shortcomings of Joho, he is the only one at this very point in that party that you have.
But he has refused.
That's what I'm saying. You better have
Black. Tunaenda tumtoe kwa nyumba yake tumforce akuje kwa siasa.
Hiyo sasa hiyo ndo shida mahali mlioko nao. So unaona, that is your in-house problem. But the fact here is this.
Yake na akona biashara na Abu, unajua Abu ana control Joho. Abu already amemwambia hii kitu haitakuwa hivi. Sasa unataka tufanye aje?
Nikuulize.
Joho alikuwa anapendwa. Joho alipoenda
Nikuulize tu.
no, ngoja nimalize. Joho alipoanza
Okay.
trips zake kwenda Luo Nyanza, Joho alienda Homa Bay, Joho akaenda Migori, Joho akaenda Kisumu. He was received very well. Joho anapendwa. Hiyo I cannot deny. But jamaa alidecide awacha aende biashara, awache siasa. Sasa unataka tumtoe bedroom yake tumforce akuje kwa siasa?
Okay, maoni yangu tu ni hivi. Na swali moja tu. Okay, but swali moja, do you agree on one thing? That the issue here is that Raila ought to hand over power to a different leader. Now Groom, while he's still here, strong and alive and healthy. Do you at least agree on that?
To who?
All right.
No, it's not. No, before we get to the who, do you agree that it is about time that he does that leadership handover?
It is not time, Mr. Black. Sikiza kitu tunakwambia.
Wewe wachana hizo ujinga zako. Wewe unataka kutuanza control party yetu. We know how to handle things and we are strategists.
Now let me ask you.
No, don't ask. Let me talk now.
Ndugu.
Ndugu. Hakuna maneno ya ndugu sasa. Sasa ni kaka.
Yes, nji.
Sasa ni kaka, sio ndugu, sitaki ndugu.
Unajua hapo ndo mahali mnakosea, hamtaki kuambia ukweli. Ukweli wa mambo ni
Black, sikiza.
It is about Okay, niambie kaka.
Black, sikiza. Listen to what Alex is telling you. We had people like Joho. We have people like Simba Arati. We have people like this Junet. But they are missing in action. Sasa tutafuata mtu tumchukue kwa nyumba yake tumforce. Listen first. Ni kitu ambacho nasema it is time for Baba to hand over the mantle. Baba ana hand over kwa mtu ambaye anajitokeza anataka, ama hand over kwa any post mtu yote ambaye anapita tu, bora mimi nimepita nipewe tu that mantle.
Sasa ndo nimesema mahali ambapo I think tuna tofauti kati ya vile ambavyo tunapo debate hapa ni kwamba maswali ni mbili hapa, si ndio? Swali ya kwanza, je, ni wakati ambapo baba anastahili kupeana mtu mwingine uongozi? Alafu pili, swali ya pili tu ni nani, je, ndio anastahili kupewa hii? No.
Sasa hilo ndio swali tuko nayo.
Hapo kwa nani ndo kuna kizungumkuti. Unaona?
Kwa sababu ulisema huko ODM, hiyo sasa tuachie sisi tutahandle.
Ndio hiyo ndo nikasema hiyo siwezi ingilia. Maana yake hiyo ni mambo ya familia ya watu ODM.
You are insisting on Joho. Unaingilia.
Sawa, acha niachie hapo. Nisemekane nimeingilia mambo ya familia.
Na usitoke.
Sijatoka, niko.
Asante na bwana Black, nakupenda kaka. Acha nikuulize.
Nakupenda ndugu bana. Sote ni ndugu bana. Tuna utatu.
Sawa. Pole kiasi mandugu, acha niulize. Junet wanasema akona issues kwa sababu hajakuwa akionekana mikutanoni. Kulikuwa na siku ya maana ambayo ilikuwa ni Jumamosi. Sijui kama mliona watu wa Jubilee wakiwa katika mkutano wa Raila Odinga wa pale Siaya wa kuomboleza baba yake aliaga miaka
kama 30. Ilikuwa Ofafa Kisumu.
Ni Kisumu. Mimi sijuangi hizi story. Mnosoma hizo geography hizo places zinachanganya kidogo, lakini swali yangu ni
Ofafa Hall Kisumu.
All right. Why was Martha Karua missing? I don't know if she was there, but why was she missing if she was not there?
You know, that was a conundrum.
And when was the last time you saw Martha Karua with Raila Odinga?
For Kalonzo, he was in DRC. Martha Karua had a meeting with his party members because aliona baba anaendelea commercial his parties, so alikuwa na neck ya party yake. So it's not like she refused. She had pangad that neck, and you know, baba pangad that meeting in the last minute. You know, it was 1 week then, because it was supposed to be in Siaya as traditionally in Bodo, but then they decided to put it in Kisumu. So Anyang' Nyong'o and baba were busy organizing that meeting. So Martha Karua had already decided to have a deck with his party because ODM that week had gone to Busia, Vihiga, Kakamega, and Bungoma and other areas. and it was also
So Martha
registering its
Karua
people.
akaona I think you are agreeing with what Black is saying, because how comes saizi ndio Martha Karua amenotice anahitaji awe na PG and all. Sasa zile ameona baba amefanya kitu. Really?
No, let's not go in there. I mean, Mr. Jex, wacha
No, when
nikwambie,
umeraise hivyo.
hii kitu ya siasa, iko
Uh-huh.
different. Na wacha nikwambie, meeting ya Jaramogi
Uh-huh.
Oginga was a different meeting. I don't think Martha Karua could suit there because there's a history of Martha Karua that
Mhm.
sometimes raises icks when it comes to 2007. And Baba amekuwa akitetea Martha Karua sana. They were in church yesterday together. So what is the problem?
Oh, they were
They
in
were in
church. I
church.
didn't see that. All
They were
right.
in
Uh-huh.
church in Embakasi yesterday. And I
Mm-hmm.
sent you that clip. I sent you
Oh,
that clip. I sent
bwana,
you
you
all the
remember
clips.
vile nilikuwa nimemeza madawa, so I wouldn't lie that I saw it, but I'll look at it today. I'm very fresh because I have to prepare for the evening show. But
But
equally,
Jex,
when you
Jex,
look at yes,
Jex, on this issue of churches, even last time when we had a meeting with the other guy, the drunkard guy, that preacher, I
no,
told you
don't
that
call
Baba
him
always goes
so.
to church. Yeah, I told you that Baba always goes to church, but mkawa mnapingana. And it's true, Baba always goes to church. Okay, endelea.
No, the word always is very relative, eh? Because this Sunday. What of last Sunday? Did he go to church? Okay, silence means you're not sure.
Yes, he did.
Black,
No, he was. He was to church, bana. Last
where?
week.
Where?
Jake,
Where?
sometimes you are not advised. Hizi madawa sijui zilikufanya aje.
Sorry, Nico. I agree, I'm still, but Siko as medicated as Jana. But let's come back to the show. Let's try to be serious, kidogo.
Politically, you are not current.
When you look at Junet, sorry,
Wachana maneno ya Junet.
sorry, I
Tuende
didn't
kitu
get that.
Junet. Wachana maneno ya Junet. I mean, Junet is
Tumemalizana
a
na Junet
very.
because the next thing I
Let's
want
go
us
to
to
the
look
next.
at is this one.
Let's go to the next
This
thing,
is
like
the next
Ahmed
thing I
said.
want to look at. The next thing ndio hiyo kwa screen. Which way Azimio? Now I want to begin with you, Bwana Alex. Which way Azimio? What should Azimio do? Because as it is, do we even have Azimio?
There is no Azimio. It is
Uh-huh.
ODM. It is
Uh-huh.
ODM.
Uh-huh.
There is no question about it. You have
Uh-huh.
seen when Baba has gone to these meetings. I think you are sick. You never saw. Even when we went to Kilifi, when the power people were defecting, I think you were sick. You did not see. I think
I saw that one. I think I was that day I wasn't that sick. I saw that one, and my question is, power was in Kenya Kwanza. It is not in Azimio. We are talking of Azimio.
no. I'm telling you what is happening. Kenyans have
Uh-huh.
gotten mad, and I want Black to agree with this. There is a frustration.
Mm-hmm.
There is a story
Mm-hmm.
that I sent to you of a young boy who
Uh-huh.
committed suicide
Uh-huh.
because he couldn't go to school. I sent you
Uh-huh.
another one, a young boy
Uh-huh.
who was working to get school fees to go to Kapsabet just to go to
Uh-huh.
do what? To go to school. I mean, there's
Mm-hmm.
a crisis in Kenya right now, educational
Mm-hmm.
crisis, and we
Mm-hmm.
have also health crisis, whereby we do not have NHIF is not being accepted by hospitals. There's crisis
Uh-huh.
everywhere. Ruto
Mm-hmm.
has brought economic crisis in that country, and
Mm-hmm.
people are confused. Unaelewa? So
So how is
which way
that
are
related to
you?
Azimio?
No, so no, I'm only saying that
Uh-huh.
that one has made Azimio to have a different strategy to bring them together and see
Uh-huh.
what they can do
Uh-huh.
to pressurize Ruto, okay? So that at least
Uh-huh.
a
Uh-huh.
few things should be done. Kitu kama this economic
Uh-huh.
crisis ya shule, it has become too much.
Uh-huh.
How many children are not going to school? So many. Some are committing
Uh-huh.
suicide. Some are going to child labor. I mean, the country is going in a wrong way. And I want Black to agree that hili maneno ya hustler yenye walitudanganya nayo, it is not working. Capitation used to be 22,000 when Matiang'i was the Minister for Education. Akaacha Mako, it was 22,000. When Ruto came in, he said 12,000. Now they have only sent 4,000 to schools. 4,000. I'm telling you, schools are in crisis. They want to increase the school fees. Now they can't increase. School are not going to function. Watoto hawendi kukula.
But still, how is that related to Azimio?
So that is our strategy, that we are going to take advantage of the impending fall.
Okay.
The minister for
All right.
the minister for finance in South Africa today said openly, I don't know if you saw, that the economy is falling, whether you agree or not. And he said it in front of Ramaphosa. And Ramaphosa was so mad that he had said, Ndungu told us that the country does not have money. So we are taking advantage of that to say that Kenya Kwanza has failed. He doesn't have a plan. He doesn't have ideology. He doesn't have philosophy. It is Ata Black used to be so smart. Sahi ni kama I don't even know. He says things sometimes baka nashangaa. The man used to be so refined.
But but equally that can be argued. Brother Black, do you agree with Alex? Because I'm not sure if he has answered my question, which way Azimio, because what he has done, he has only blamed Kenya Kwanza, but this is an issue at the doorstep of Azimio. They're the ones having a challenge with Junet Mohamed.
He has not answered your question. My brother Alex has not answered your question.
I've said we are taking advantage of Ruto's mistakes. We are converging. You have seen us go to rallies. And so what do you want me to tell you more than that? Kama una akili ya kusikiza, do you want me to force you skiza?
Your house is Ndugu, your house is not in order to start with.
Our house is in order. Wachana hiyo jinga unataka kutuambia hapa. We are the one who knows. We are the one who knows. You are not the one to tell us. UDA is not in order. Ndidi Nyoro is fighting with Gachagua. Sijui nani ana fight with nani. Baraza Didmas Baraza ndio huyu anaongea upuzi. Your house is not in order. You should focus on that. Wachana na jumba yetu.
But the same can be said as well concerning Azimio, because equally, there's Black.
Ni debate, hajakosana ndugu yangu. Go ahead.
Azimio is a shell. Azimio is a shell right now. Azimio is a shell. Everyone is on autopilot by themselves.
You know, your perspective, that is your perspective, and that is your thought process, and I cannot force it to make it right. If somebody's thought process is wrong, I can't force it to be right. You know?
All right. Now, the newspaper has it this way, that which way Azimio, now they're saying that the National Coalition Executive Council has written to all constituent parties of Azimio. So there's some degree of housekeeping. They're saying that Azimio la Umoja One Kenya has called a crucial meeting this Thursday that is expected to determine the future of the coalition and its membership amid internal wrangles over Boma's National Dialogue report and the camp's presidential flag bearer 2027 State House contest. Now, already they're talking about the issues that they don't agree with, especially the NADCO report. Of course, the two guys who have come out to oppose it is one Eugene Wamalwa and Martha Karua. Two people equally supporting it are Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka. So I think that one is a matter they can be able to tackle easily. But the question is, and I think Black had raised this one, is about the flag bearer. At one moment, we almost thought Raila was endorsing Kalonzo Musyoka. And then kidogo alipoulizwa akasema, I didn't mean I was endorsing him. I just said he's a loyal person. So Black, I begin with you. From where you sit, this meeting, will it help cure the fire in Azimio, or this is how the beginning of the end?
This is the beginning of the end, to answer your question. And One thing I do know is ODM will never, ever back any other presidential candidate apart from their own. Take that to the bank. Let's pray to God that God
That is
keeps
true.
us
We are
healthy
not
and
going to
alive
back
so that we
Kalonzo.
honor
Kalonzo has no
2027.
marshals. Kalonzo has no marshals.
It will.
He's only going to Kampani.
That one
If
I can tell
Kalonzo
you for
wanted
free.
to become no Black Skizzer, if Kalonzo wanted to become a national leader, let him start going to Western. Let him start going to Nyanza. Let him start going to Coast. At least we can consider him. We considered him, but the guy is always in Ukambani. How can you just somebody who has a mayoral consciousness, a councillor consciousness? Mtu kama Rigathi Gachagua mwenye anaendanga Nyeri peke yake. How can we consider such kind of person? Wacha kutudanganya hapa. Black continues.
Jex, your mic.
Sorry, nilikuwa nimejimute mwenyewe. Mr. G, let me ask you, do you agree with Black that this is the beginning of the end?
I think I should go back kidogo. You remember that time the story ambao umeongea that Baba was now declaring Kalonzo to be our presidential candidate. Do you think it was it was the right time? Because remember, Martha Karua was our deputy. So when Baba declares Kalonzo to be our president, do you think that was the right time for him to declare to declare Kalonzo as our presidential candidate? Another thing, look at how Kalonzo is conducting himself. Hajaonyesha kuwa he's ready to take this thing. You know, for somebody to take to be our presidential candidate, he has to show. Kwa sahi, looking at how the ground is, in fact, the ground inaanza kuforce Baba tena asimame. Si watu wa Azimio, si watu tu watao those leaders, it is the ground ambayo inaanza kuforce Baba kusimama for the next presidential election. Nani anasema, Black anasema kuwa ODM cannot give another person apart from our own. We give somebody who shows that signs that he's ready to take the mantle. Huwezi patia tu mtu ambaye anaenda kutuangusha. Somebody like Kalonzo. Kalonzo is somebody who was I think alikuwa the best, but now he's not showing that muscle. Hana ile muscle ambao nani amesema ambao Alex amesema. He has no muscle kuonyesha kuwa he's fighting for this thing, because you have to fight for this thing. You have to show that you are able to take it. So hajaonyesha. Okay, on your question ambao umeuliza, I think there is some kuna issue kidogo kwa Azimio ambao I think they need to have their house in order. There's some issue kwa sababu tumeona Martha Karua amekuwa missing in action many occasion, haonekani, hatujui kwa nini, and I think it's just because of that report whereby yeye alikuwa anataka tuachane na hiyo kitu na tuende kuandamana, but Baba has been managing us. Baba hataki hiyo mafujo mingi. That's why he's managing us, but what I know ni kwa watakuja kuelewana, but there's some issues ambao they have to sort it out.
Now, when you say Karua wanted maandamano, what do you mean?
When
you say that Karua wanted maandamano, but Baba seems not to want so, what do you mean?
No, you know, Central Kenya has been forcing Baba atoke nje. They want maandamano kwa sababu the cost of living imekuwa high. People are passing through a lot of pain in the country. Now wanaona kuwa the only solution ni kwenda kwa field ambao ni express themselves. The only place to express ourselves in the field, in the streets, by maandamano. That is what Martha has been calling out. Twende, anaambia Baba, we need to fight for this thing. You know, Martha has huwa na stand yake. That's why I love her, because huwa understand. Akiamua kitu huwa maamua. But even though the other time alituangusha, huwa yuko na stand. Now, on this issue of maandamano, it is Central Kenya, the guys from Central Kenya who have been calling us kwenda kwa street kufight, kwenda kwa street kuitisha hii kuandamana kwa sababu ya issues ambazo na happen. Let me give you something different from what you asked. Look at the story ya this lawyer anaitwa Mohamed Nasir amekuwa against Baba for a very long time. Amekuwa akikasiria Baba, anamuongelea vibaya. Tukiitisha maandamano, he was the first person ambaye alikuwa anatupinga, anasema kwa tunakosa kuitisha maandamano. Sahi he is the person ambaye amekuwa banned kwa Supreme Court, yet he's a lawyer. So where will he run? the only place he can run in kwa street kwa kuandamana, hiyo kuandamana ambapo anapinga sahi, that's the only place anaweza fight for his case. Hakuna mahali pengine anaweza enda kwa sababu kwa Supreme Court washakataa, hawamtaki kumuona. He's going back to where we started, which is maandamano, ambao pia nani kina
Black kwa nakataa. To be fair to him, I think he has gone to the East African court. I think he went to Tanzania the other day, and because of course, if you cannot sue here in Kenya, you can still go to East Africa.
So you believe that is a court? That's a kangaroo court.
Now you see, you call it kangaroo when it's Admin Nasir, but when I remind you that equally Matakarua went there, what will you talk about?
But anyway, that court does not help anybody. Let me tell you, the Kenyan court undermined that court. You saw how it undermined. Martha Karua won the case in that court. But what did they do? They undermined the court. The Kenyan court undermined them.
All right, Black. This is what the Daily is saying this morning. This is the very latest from the Daily Nation. It says that Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka has hit the ground running ahead of next year's general election. Now, but Mr. Alex is saying that Kalonzo has not hit the ground running. So who between Alex and the Daily Nation is really saying factual statement, given that Black is out? But let me ask Mr. G. Mr. G, between gazeti ya leo ambayo inasema Kalonzo has hit the ground running ahead of the next general election, and Alex is saying that Kalonzo is doing basically nothing, he's actually only in Ukambani. Which statement do you believe, Mr. G?
I will believe Alex kwa sababu Alex anaelewa kabisa what is happening on the ground.
All right.
Yeah, what Alex is saying, exactly, that is what is happening on the ground, and I agree with him. Yeah.
So, Alex, Kalonzo has not hit the ground running.
No, Kalonzo has a bear of consciousness or a council of consciousness whereby anaendaga tu ukabadi. Unajua, Kalonzo at this particular time should be in Luo Nyanza, should be in Luya land, should be in the coast, and kuna Wakamba wengi in the coast. Unaelewa? And if really hata Wakamba wataweza taka wakue governor in Mombasa, they can be, because ni wengi sana. Hata Mishi Mboka hapo Likoni anashinda kura courtesy of Wakamba. So Kalonzo yeye mwenyewe amekataa to be a nationalist. He had decided to be a Kabbalist. Yeah.
All right. So that is the first statement Apple Daily Nation inasema. The next thing inasema ni Azimio calls a make or break meeting on the fate of the coalition. Now, I think Alex, I didn't ask you this. Is this meeting called on Thursday? Is it a make or break meeting?
Kuna mahali Martha Karua anaenda. Bila baba Martha Karua is nothing. Hakuna mahali Eugene anaenda. Bila baba Eugene is nothing. Hakuna mahali Kalonzo anaenda. Bila baba is nothing. These are people in the shadows of baba's legs. So hii maneno ya make and break, hii ni maneno ya media. This kangaroo media ambayo hata tumeshinda saa hii, Afrika 24 imeshinda, wacha na kuongea nayo. Wacha maneno ya gazeti. Wacha tuongee vitu za next.
It is the newspaper review, so you have to look at the newspaper, but equal debate.
And that's why even Uhuru called it ya kufunga nyama.
All right. Now,
ya kufunga nyama, wacha ifunga nyama, because I agree with that.
There's this thing that you have said, that Raila Kalonzo is not going anywhere, equally to Martha Karua and the rest. But the question is, them equally are not getting younger. I think Kalonzo celebrated his 70th birthday the other day, so he's not equally getting younger. So if 2027 had to make Kuwa president, when else? Because this man said the other day, if I quote him, that it's either he runs or goes home completely, because there's no way you can keep shelving your dream 1 time, 2 times, 3, 5 times, and equally still wait for this man who has yet to clinch the seat 5 times to, keep on trying. At one point, I think it's always good to know when to leave the stage. Um, does Baba know when to leave the stage? At what point is Baba ready to leave the stage?
Wacha nikwambie, Winnie told us last time that Baba was not ready to run.
Uh-huh.
And then
Mm-hmm.
they looked at the numbers. In fact, when
Mm-hmm.
they sat down, they looked at who Kenyans want. Wakapata Kalonzo is 1 digit, 9%.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Wakapata watu wengine, they are so low. The only
Mm-hmm.
person who was 90% is Baba. And let me
Mm-hmm.
tell you,
Mm-hmm.
Baba is an enigma. Watu
Uh-huh.
wanampenda. There is no way, as
Uh-huh.
long as he's alive, hata akuwe
Uh-huh.
90 years, people will still want Baba to run. Why? Because the
Mm-hmm.
guy is versatile, like
Mm-hmm.
his father. We just celebrated his father on Saturday. And
Mm-hmm.
what, at his age, what you see he does, every day he has a meeting. I don't know even I can make it. Me, myself, at my age, meetings, jamaa anakuwaga nayo. Jana alikuwa
Uh-huh.
na church, all of a sudden akaenda Mumias, alikuwa Nairobi Embakasi
Mm-hmm.
church, all of a sudden akaenda Mumias tena. I mean, unashangaa huyu jamaa ako na nguvu gani? The guy is committed
Mm-hmm.
to the cause. And the last words
Mm-hmm.
of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga is, do not relent until the cause is finished. And that is what
Mm-hmm.
Raila is doing. Other people are relenting. Eh? You don't see Kalonzo. Kama sio baba anawaingisha kwa ndege, anawafosa wanaingia. Kalonzo will
Uh-huh.
be in Yata, or it will be in Machakos all the time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So Baba
All
is
right.
hardworking. And that's
Uh-huh.
why people like him.
Mm-hmm. Now, at one point, Raila Odinga would have to leave the stage. At what point will that be? And we are not talking of death here. We are talking of, because even a good dancer
You people
knows
think
when to
that,
leave at the stage.
no, Jex, this is where you're wrong. You people, and that
Now,
is,
it's a question. I'm not saying that it's a fact or where I stand. I'm
no,
just asking at what
no,
point.
Jex.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Baba was detained for 9 years because of politics,
Uh-huh.
and he was ready to die because of politics. Why do you want him to
Mm-hmm.
leave politics? Did you remember what Oburu Odinga said in that meeting? When Oburu
Uh-huh.
told him, Baba, wachana na siasa. Can you put the clip of Oburu Odinga, the
Uh-huh.
speech of Oburu Odinga, so that you can understand these things?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It is the cause of the people. When the vacuum is there, there is nobody. Baba
Mm-hmm.
akinyamaza, munapiga kelele. Baba akiongea, mnaanza kusema he should exit. Unajua
Uh-huh.
Baba, last time Baba alienda US 3 months, did you see the vacuum that was in Kenya?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the vacuum that was in Kenya politically? Until somebody
Uh-huh.
akaanza kusema Baba while you were away.
Mm-hmm.
You people, it's not Baba's mistake. It is these people who do not want to take the mantle. They are not ready. They are
Mm-hmm.
not ready mentally. They are not ready physically. They are not ready financially. They don't want to make
Uh-huh.
money. For Baba every day to have these meetings, he's using his money because Ruto amekataa kupeana pesa ya finance, party finance, sijui ni nini. So Baba is
Mm-hmm.
using his own money. You need to
Mm-hmm.
bankroll these things. You can't just
Mm-hmm.
say that you want to become a national leader bila pesa.
Uh-huh.
You
Uh-huh.
can't. So these
Uh-huh.
people are not ready financially. They are not ready physically. Ukiwaangalia wengine hawaendi gym, angalia kama Aladwa hataki kuenda
Mm-hmm.
gym. At
Mm-hmm.
least Malala
Mm-hmm.
alienda gym kidogo. Eh? These people are not ready in
Malala
any way.
hakufanyiwa surgery.
I don't know. I don't care about him.
I think alifanyia mipango aje liposuction, something of the sort. Ile inafungwa tumbo something. I'm forgetting the name. But that is neither here nor there. Mr. G, at what point should Baba leave the stage? Ama you are for the idea he should go on, as Alex is saying, because politics is what he knows what to do.
Exactly. Politics is what Baba knows well to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
we cannot just start handing over to somebody who is not ready to take the mantle. This is the question that I asked Mr. Jakes. Who is ready to take the mantle? Who is ready to fit in the shoe where Baba is right now? For me, I don't see anybody. That's why even Baba akisema sahi anasimama 2027, I'll still vote for Baba because it is the only man I see who has that muscle. The person who can marshal people, the person who can consolidate his team. So I don't see any other person who can take over until they show that sign they are ready to take over. Somebody like Simbarati was in a better position to take this thing. But bado anacheza ni kama haoni kuwa he's missing the opportunity na atakuja kuikosa kabisa. Yeah. So Baba aendelee. We cannot leave it in the vacuum. Hakuna kitu tunachia kwa vacuum. Baba bado ako strong. Yeah.
So at what point will you begin to, because
no, hata sahi, you know,
plan is not qualified, qualified.
Get something. Get this, the point that I'm saying. I'm saying that Baba can give any person, but he should give somebody who is ready to take it. Kwa sahi hakuna mtu anaonyesha kuwa ako ready kuchukua that thing. But if at all mtu anaweza jitokeza hata leo, it's better Baba akipatana that mantle. If at all somebody will show that he's capable of doing what Baba can do. Sina shida na hiyo. But now because no one is there, no one is showing up. Kwa nini Baba apeane? And yet hakuna mtu ako ready kuchukua.
All right. Bwana Alex,
next nikwambie. Unajua siasa, especially vile Ruto ameingia sahihi, hao akina Black wanaiba pesa like left and right. You need money. Hiyo pesa nani ako naye anaweza run party? Joho had money, could do it. Amekataa. Black is right, but we are not going to toa kwa bedroom yake tumforce akuje akuwe leader wetu. Si Parati ako na pesa na anapendwa na watu, na sisi wakisi tumeprotect mimi naenda kuacha kumsupport kwa sababu kama is not ready to become a national leader, then what next? So wacha nikwambie, wachana hii question at what point. You know, you cannot ask at what point when there is nobody. We cannot exist in a vacuum. Nothing exists in a vacuum. Hata nyumba yako does not exist in a vacuum.
Correct.
You are there. So I will tell you that as long as Baba is able to fill that vacuum and we continue to be vigilant to look for somebody who is loyal, like Kajwang said, somebody who is loyal to the party. Okay? Then we will give up and say, okay, now let's pass the mantle. So you want us just to stay? Let's give it to Orengo. Orengo hataweza. Orengo is not a national leader. He's a local leader. So hii maneno ya kusema at what point wachana nayo.
All right. Sawa. Now allow me to, can I go to something else? I'm about to tuendelee na Azimio.
Yeah, let's go to another thing.
Now, another newspaper that made headlines. I think this one we were able to converse last week, asking ourselves the broken relationship between Ruto and his friends, our allies. Now, this is what the East African newspaper have this morning. They're saying that these guys are now friends again. We're talking of William Ruto and none other than the Ugandan president, Yoweri Museveni. Now, when you look at this, of course, there was a meeting during the week, last week, Kisha, or rather Friday thereabout, and Ruto had to go to Uganda. And the East African is saying that these guys, are they friends? Actually, it's a question. Friends again? It's a question. Are they friends again? It's because alienda meeting. They're saying that despite apparent thawing of relations between Kenya and Uganda, there are sticking points in fuel import talks. Kampala wants a license for UNOC, but Nairobi says the Uganda marketer should embrace competition from Kenya companies. And of course, that story continues in page 5. But when you look at these two gentlemen, Bwana Alex, these are buddies. These are guys even during elections or thereabout during campaigns. Ruto kama kuna mahali alikuwa anapata kesi nyingi. You remember the guy mwenye wanaenda naye Uganda. I'm forgetting the name of that that guy. But kuna mzungu walisema he's a bad person. ambaye ni trafficker of something na akakatazwa kwenda na yeye Uganda at one point So if there is a place Ruto amekuwa highly humiliated is because of the relationship between him and Yoweri Museveni. What do you make if these guys were to have a fallout?
Acha nikwambie, jana nikiangalia kwa gazeti there was a big of the government to government deal whereby Kenya agreed that it made a big mistake with the 3 Gulf countries whereby they thought they could buy oil with shilling, and they agreed it was a mistake. And wacha nikwambie, 4 ministers wanted to resign last week. Among them was Ndugu, the Minister for Finance, because I mean hii kitu inakuwa ngumu kwao, unaelewa? Hii kitu inakuwa ngumu kwao. The mistakes they made, they thought the secret deals they made have come out to haunt them to a point that cash crunch is in Kenya. So Museveni called Ruto kumwambia just nirudishie pesa zetu, wewe endelea hii ujinga yenye unataka. So there is nothing like their friends again. Museveni is relentless. Unajua Museveni is a man who is very principled. Wakati LGBTQ ilikuja Uganda, the guy was so firm to a point that I saw a leader. I used to see a dictator, but I saw a leader who knows what his people want. And I think it's because for a very long time there was war in Uganda. So what I'm saying is this issue, yes, Yacha Ruto. Ruto was blocked last week from going to Tanzania because of the same issue. Mama Suluhu alisema he doesn't want anything to do with Ruto because Ruto is a perpetual and a pathological liar. She said it openly. So there's no friendship again here. The whole issue is about getting back their money and getting over this deal, and kila mtu afanye kitu yake. Nobody is going to trust Ruto again. You know, as a president, you are manning a country. And when you are manning a country, you know very well that a country should not be messed up. But the guy has messed up our country already, and he wants to mess other countries. It can't be like that. So Museveni, being a leader who has been there for a very long time, knows how to coerce somebody to go and sit down and talk so that hii pesa yao wapeane, because hajapewa na pesa yao. This oil government, read that, it was yesterday's statement, and it was yesterday newspaper that was talking about government to government oil deal in the 3 Gulf countries. Yani, it was a mistake, and the people were saying that were ministers within the government. Thank you.
All right, Mr. G, what do you make of this? Are these guys still friends, or the relationship has gone sour?
Okay, you know, there was a problem when Ruto started to show himself as a person who knows everything. You know, Ruto is one person and very happy any advice. He always thinks that he's the Mr. Right, you see. And now on this issue of friendship, look at it is Uganda who took Kenya to Tanzania's court, I think. Because how we have been conducting ourselves. But what I can just say is that, you know, in business wise, somebody's calling, but okay, let me just cut this. Okay, in business wise, I don't think if Uganda can completely come out of Kenya, kwa sababu looking at our standard of how we handle things, like just in port, you cannot compare Mombasa port with Tanzanian port. You see, look at how import of oil is done. We cannot compare our usual business with how Uganda and with how Tanzania does things. So there's no way Uganda can just leave Kenya completely. So at one point lazima wataongea. At one point wataongea. But in case Ruto aendelee na this behavior ambayo nao wanaita tabia yake na hii arrogance with the dictatorship ambayo anaonyesha, I think they will have to go out because they can use even Eritrea. Eritrea has a port, and I think Eritrea iko big sana hata kuliko Kenya, even though the country is small. But I'm told that is so big. Their port is so big than even the Kenyan one. So in case Ruto endelee kuwa arrogant the way he is, they can start using Eritrea.
All right. Now that story you find it kwa the East African newspaper, page 5 has that well explained for you. So kindly get that copy and find out more. But there's an interesting one equally I want us to look at, and that is Taifa Leo. Taifa Leo has this, Mr. Alex, and it's on Atwoli. Atwoli, the court person, has said something, and this is what Taifa Leo is saying, that kotu yafokea serikali kwa kuzembea kumaliza ufisadi, yasema mazingira ya biashara ni duni. Now Mr. Atwoli is the man who crafted "In whose hands are we safe?" In any case, he said that William Ruto is a corrupt person during campaigns. In fact, he really brought out the many scandals of corruption and all during campaigns. Immediately after, no sooner had Ruto become president than he left Azimio and said he will work with the government. But now he's advising the government that now corruption is what is affecting businesses. And in fact, hapo chini inaendelea kusema ya kwamba that tunaamini kwa dhati kuwa azma ya kuangamiza kabisa ufisadi itaondoa Kenya katika mataifa ya kukopa hadi nchi ya kukopesha. So when you look at what he's saying now, what do you make of Atwoli's advice to the president that he needs to deal with corruption? Yeah, that if we are able to tackle corruption, Kenya would move from a borrowing nation to a lending nation. What do you make of such sentiments from Atwoli, Bwana Alex?
Nanisikia?
Kabisa.
You know, first of all, let me describe what Atwoli is. He's a lunatic, he's an idiot, he's a goose, he's a
Really?
moron, he's a nut, he's a simpleton, he's a
Okay,
jackass.
fine.
He's a loser.
Pause. Okay, let's continue
Why are
without
you
the
pausing me?
negativity.
Because
Because
first,
okay, it's enough that you have described him with all those very strong harsh adjectives. Now let's continue to the question. Go ahead.
mbona unaogopa nikidescribe Atwoli? He's a jackass.
No, it's okay. It's okay. That's how you see him. But pause for the adjectives for now. Let's continue.
Unajua Jex unakuanga mwoga sana. You
Yeah,
have to
no.
describe
I'm
somebody
not.
to
I'm just cautious because Atwoli equally is a father, a husband, a leader, someone's darling. Yeah,
He's also a jackass.
ni mtu, ni bwana ya mtu bwana. Huyu ni mzee wa mtu bwana. He is a father figure. So those words na issue inaona na watu wengi sana. I wish you see the views zenye niko nazo at the moment. You never know, maybe his son who is a doctor could be watching. You never know, so let's not describe him.
If you know what we
Mhm.
view him right now, the guy represents the workers of Kenya. Then he goes in bed with Ruto. Right now, we are being taxed to the head,
Mhm.
and then he can't do nothing because he went to bed with
Mhm.
Ruto with the president. Hawezi tetea
All right.
The other day you heard him talk about
Mhm.
the airport, how corruption is in the airport.
Mhm.
He used to be so powerful when
Correct.
he talked. When he talks, something has to be done.
Mhm.
In fact, he used to say after the president
Mhm.
and Raila is the third. But right now, he's
Mhm.
not able kutetea wafanyikazi. You know, look at the case
Mhm.
that he did talk about last week. He talked about the president akasema, tafadhali tetea musitoa industrial and
Court.
inaitwaje, industrial court and
Labor
inaitwa
courts.
industrial and labor court.
Industrial
Why?
and labor court.
Because Ruto wants to take away it, and then he was pleading with the
Mhm.
president not to take about it. You don't plead, you take
Mhm.
wafanyikazi, mnakuja nje
Mhm.
maandamano, unasema it can't be taken because this is the only
Mhm.
place we go. So, and that is why I'm saying that
Mhm.
he's a lunatic. Amefika mahali he's betrayed the people that he's representing. Hata yeye
Mhm.
unatakana uniulize at what point he should he go. Huyo sasa ndio unatakana uniulize at what point should he go.
All right. Mr. G, at what point should Mr. Atwoli go, given that one We see even the president assigning him more assignments. This is a man who said that Sugoi watu watakata miti. This is a man who said Ruto hata kwa balo. This is a man who said so many things against Ruto. But of late, we see the camaraderie, we see the friendship, we see something interesting happening between these two guys. At times, the president assigns him some roles in some committees and all. As much as anaweza amua kutetesha serikali, anaifanya with kids gloves. It's not as vigorous as Alex is describing. Says I don't think even Kotu can call for strikes. I think it's almost becoming toothless. But when you look at this friendship, is it really made on anything solid? Ama itu ni ile ubeshte simply because Ruto is the president, nothing more? Mr. G? Mr. G, we cannot hear you. All right, Alex, what do you make of this friendship? Is it because Ruto won? Ama hii ni ubeshte ya ukweli?
Unajua, when you are gullible,
Mhm,
you are trendacious, you're trusting, you are naive, and you're green. So I think Atwoli is
mhm,
trying to be green in a
mhm,
relationship when he knows very well that he's not wanted. Ruto, I don't think will trust somebody like it's a matter of time before he
mhm,
removes him from that seat. That seat is so powerful,
mhm,
na najua hataki nini, hataki maandamano. So
uh-huh,
so amemweka karibu, and Atwoli is so trustful, you know.
mhm,
Atwoli
mhm,
is so, I don't know how I can describe him, but Atwoli is a
uh-huh,
person that once he 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 trusts you, you know, uh, he can work with you very well. I think the words are
mhm.
colorless or candor
All
or
right.
gullible. Or gullible.
Mr. G, I see you're back. I don't know if now if your voice is good, or rather your sound.
Okay, just confirm if I'm audible.
Very. Let's go ahead. Question I
Okay,
posed to you.
okay. What I was saying ni kuwa the same way Alex amesema, we lack words to express and to explain who Atwoli is. On my side, I think Atwoli angekuwa ameexit last year, because this is a guy
All
ambaye
right.
anapenda kujipendekeza kwa watu. Look at how he used to behave
Mm-hmm.
wakati wa Moi. Just
Mm-hmm.
look at that picture wakati alikuwa anajipendekeza wakati wa Moi. Go back to hiyo
Uh-huh.
time ya nani, hiyo time ya Kibaki. Look at how he used to
Mm-hmm.
behave. Alafu pia
Mm-hmm.
wakati wa Uhuru, although upata wa Uhuru sana hakujipendekeza sana, but just look at how he used to do akiwa mbele ya power. So this is a guy ambaye he's more of a chameleon, na si mtu ambaye yuko trustworthy. You cannot trust him, kwa sababu mtu ambaye anaweza kukuambia leo kitu na kumbe kesho anafanya kitu kingine ambao si mzuri. So just a guy ambaye
Mm-hmm.
hayuko transparent. So we cannot hata, there's nothing to talk about this guy, kwa sababu hakuna kitu anaweza tusaidia kwa sahi in the current situation. Mr. Jex in Kenya, he's supposed to be the first person ambaye ana encourage the people, even the middle class guys, kutoka kwa street, kwa kukatai mambo ambayo inaendelea. Look at how people are being frustrated, na ndo leader upande wa workers ambaye angekuwa ana force watu sahi even to stand against the impunity that is being done in our country, but amenyamaza kabisa. So it's somebody ambaye ame side na the government, so there's nothing can expect from his side.
Jax,
All right.
historically,
Interesting.
Jax,
Mm-hmm.
historically,
Mm-hmm.
the labor unions
Mm-hmm.
are the ones that
Mm-hmm.
took us out of dictatorships. Okay, the labor unions leaders,
Mm-hmm.
like this guy who became the president, mwenye alitoa the first president of Zambia, Kaunda. What was his name? This
Mm-hmm.
guy that was very smart. He had very good English. Tulikuwa tunamuitaje?
Mm-hmm.
This guy also mwenye alikuwa na pose kama ni
Mm-hmm.
Christian, alipoingia ndani akaanza kuwa dictator.
Mm-hmm.
Can you Google his name? You tell me. I have to know his name. I can't continue.
No, imeanza na L, sio lu something. Lu I'll
He used
I'll
to
get his name, eh?
just get his name because I can't continue without it. This man, you know, through the labor union, he was able to get Kaunda out. Labor unions have been very powerful. Remember when Sosion was Sosion, Nat was Nat. Unaelewa? So this guy has disappointed workers. Workers have nowhere to go. So you cannot say that we should impress him. Sasa anatuambia ati sijui ati amfuza Ruto. Amfuza Ruto nini? There's nothing. These people are friends, and let me tell you, imefika point, the only leader I trust is Raila na Karua. Why? Because there is there is a tribe called Wabunge na Wajumbe. Watu wakikuwa rich, they start talking. Look at Selassie, Selassie, Peter Selassie. The other day he went to a school and he stopped a meeting. Did you see that? I sent a clip of it. Akasema
There
hiyo
was
mkutano imeisha
the
kama
president you are asking, kuna Frederick Chiluba, Levi Mwanawasia,
no Chiluba.
Luke
Chiluba.
eh?
He
All
was a
right.
labor union. He was a labor union person, and Kaunda took it as a joke. But the guy marshaled all the workers, and they were able to win elections 70% against Kenneth Kaunda of Zambia. You know, so today you should ask me at what point Atwoli should exit, not Raila, because the guy is completely against the workers now. He's nothing. He's just having a post, not a role, not even atete. Ubaisikia siku hizi akitetea wananchi vile alikuwa anatetea kitambo? Umewaisikia? Nimekuuliza, umewaisikia akitetea wafanyakazi nowadays?
At times yeye who support government.
Yeah, that is what he's doing. So we should be asking at what time should this guy exit? Like yesterday.
All right.
Thank you.
Like yesterday?
Of course.
Oh, sorry. You meant he ought to have exited like yesterday. Oh, sorry. I thought you wanted to
Yeah.
talk about yesterday kama jana. Oh, sorry. It's all
No. He
sorry.
should
I
have
did.
exited like
Hiyo
yesterday.
imenipita but sawa. All right. There's still
Hiyo
something else
madao.
hapo kwa Taifa Leo. And hapo kwa Taifa Leo inaongelelea kuhusu hofu kuhusu Rigathi and Nyoro. Now, yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw this, that I think this one I was able to see despite being heavily medicated. Gashagwa told Nyoro, hey bro, hey manze, you're too young, na ni mapema sana, relax, relax. Others came out and told him, we can only have one leader at a time. This is of course what we were discussing with you guys, I think 2-3 days ago, about the fallout between Rigathi and Nyoro. Now, let me begin with you, Bwana G, Mr. G. Um, Really, when you look at this, why is it that Gashagwa is not a man who many want to embrace? Because I saw yesterday, I think yesterday or today morning, there's equally another article I read that people from Kirinyaga are equally calling for the president to consider Waiguru come 2027. It's like everyone is done and dusted with Rigiji. Or what do you make of it?
No, last time I think I told you that this guy is a losing mouth. He's one guy that even he doesn't show that quality of a leader. In fact, by the time alitoka to, I think it was hiyo ndio wakati alitoka, alikuwa dio, he was a dio, and I think from dio that's when he went, alafu akafanya sijui kazi gani, akakuja akakuwa MP for one term. So the guy lacks that quality of somebody who is a leader, and at the moment sahi Mount Kenya lacks somebody who is a kingpin. Kingpin at the moment, and okay, Uhuru is there, but this group, this Central Kenya group, wamekosa that somebody who can command them, who can put them together as a one person. You see, sasa they're trying, those wrangles ambazo ziko hapo ndani is just to try and find somebody who can put them together, who can lead them. na huyo mtu ndo amekosa. But looking at Rigiji, even this is one guy ambaye hata wakati anachukuliwa kama deputy ilikuwa ni corruption ilifanyika ndo akachukuliwa kama deputy. People chose Kindiki. Yeah. But huyu akafanyia corruption na huyu mwenzake because they like corruption ndo akakuwa deputy president. Na that is when ulipata mtu kama kina nani huyu former governor wa Kiambu aliamua kuachana na hiyo club. Huyu nini nimesahau jina yake tena, Kabogo. Yeah, because of that corruption that happened hapo katikati between Ruto na huyu mtu. That's why mambo yakaribika. Sorry, I have a call.
All right. Bwana Alex, why is many not embracing Rigiji? Because we saw it easy for us to embrace the deputy, then William Ruto, and it was almost obvious that he can become a president, or rather people embraced him, that this is a man who had the wherewithal, he had the ability, he had the tenacity, he had the ability to become a president. We saw it in him. We saw that whether he won fairly or not, that is a question for another day, but many saw him as a serious contender. Rigiji is yet to cross over that link, that barrier of only being a vice president. Of course, he won't be the first one. We have had so many other former vice presidents and deputy president. No, he will be the second deputy president. But Akina Kalonzo are there, Akina Msalia are there, the many Akina Saitoti and the many who came before him. Why is it that because even those days, Akina Saitoti would say they have the ability to become president. Kalonzo still has the ability to become a president. But him, even in his own backyard, already there is some challenge. Already, even juniors like Nyoro, slightly senior kidogo like Waigoro have been fronted instead of him. Yet he's the current deputy president. Only 1 year or so, he's the current deputy president. He hasn't grown. In any case, it's like he has deteriorated, because we thought that with the exit of Uhuru Kenyatta and him coming in as the deputy president, probably he would grow. But it seems that he either wasn't ready for the chair, or he is a person who was picked prematurely, or he lacks the ability to marshal up all the support that he can to have the region one back him up and then come be a national leader. What do you make about Rigiji and the fight with Ndene Nyoro?
You know, there was a time Ruto was so mad until he told him how to use spoons. They had gone to, you remember, because the guy is on cruise. Eh?
You want to call him an incomplete?
The guy is unfit. The guy is
The
guy is unskilled. The guy is inept. The guy is unqualified. The guy is ineligible. He's inefficient. He's unskilled. The guy is unprofessional. Even the way he talks in meetings, he keeps on talking about Uhuru all the time, until the other day, Kangata told him, stop this. This is too much. Even Kuria told him. The guy is, I mean, I can describe him in many ways. The guy is wanting. And that's why young boys now are able to start to marshal their forces against him. In short, the guy is a burglar. When you are not able, when you have verbal diarrhea all the time, you are wanting, and people can take advantage of you. So I think even the president is embarrassed sometimes by the guy on how he talks. You know, his podium ethos are very, 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 you know, when you go to the podium, your ethos should be. So he has something called podium pathos. Akona tabia mbaya. There is nothing that he says that is good. He's so negative. At least the president, even if I'm not in Kenya kwanza, kuna time anasema si ni hivyo ndugu zangu, si ni hivyo, hii kitu si ni hivyo. You know, he does talk a good language to his people, hata kama anawadanganya. Unaelewa? But Rigathi Gachagua, hata sura yake peke yake akikuwa meeting, he's so serious. Mpaka mdomo yake ukiangalia vile inaongea. I mean, let me tell you, Rigathi Gachagua ndiye amejiharibia. And let me tell you, he's not going to win against Ndidi Nyoro. People have decided. The guy is gullible. The guy has become something else. Na hasikizi akiambiwa. You can't give. Wacha nikwambie, watu wa Central sahi wamerealize that Uhuru was a great son of theirs. To keep on talking about him is just a mess. Naelewa. So he has a chair that is a vice president. He doesn't realize. Sasa huyo sasa ndiye akona mayor of consciousness, councillor consciousness. Unaelewa? So the guy need to shape up and know that he's the vice president of the Republic of Kenya. The guy cannot go to Kisumu. The guy cannot go to Kakamega. The guy cannot go to Coast. The guy is always in Nyeri. Sasa niambie, is he really prepared to be the president of the Republic of Kenya? If you're always in Nyeri, kwani Nyeri ndio kila kitu? And then the other thing, watu wao ndio wamemkataa, sio sisi. Watu wao ndio wameangalia wakaangalia. Sasa hii ni ujinga. Then this story of Maumau, mtoto wa Maumau, imechokesha watu wa Central. And the other thing, his wars with Maina Njenga imekasirisha watu wengi na imefanya Maina Njenga, who is permanently semi-illiterate, to become very powerful in the politics of Mount Kenya. You know, when you got leaders who are permanently semi-illiterate, it's unfortunate. You can't allow leaders who are not educated or who are illiterate. You can be illiterate. Kama Fakaja, who has not gone, but at least he's civilized. The guy is not civilized. You may think he's a Homo sapien.
Interesting.
He doesn't have a language of a vice president at any moment. And it's an embarrassment to the government. I think the speaker are tired of him. Hata Boni Alwale alimsomea the other time akamwambia hii ujinga achana naye.
All right, Mr. Gerono, if you're through with the call, I have like 9 minutes to wind up the show. And of course, the other story that you find hapo juu kwa taifa leo is Azimio yaita mkutano ya wakufa kupona. Of course, that one we have discussed. Of course, we'll try to look at it in a more detailed manner, of course, in our subsequent stories that we make here at Afrique 24. But hapo chini tu kwa taifa leo, hapo tu chini kabisa kuko na story ingine nitaka tuangalie. Hii ni story ya wazito wa enzi ya Moi watu timuliwa. Now, someone was saying that Ruto is seriously going for so many lands that were either given to close allies of former presidents or such, because the taifa level has it that you remember Noah Wekesa and Tonje, that kuna ardhi yao ya ekari 3,000 ambayo Ruto anataka kuchukua ili ajenge hizi affordable houses. And of course, it's the same story Kiambu guys are complaining about. It's the same story that many are complaining about. Even so, the house of former CS Amina Mohamed being demolished because to pave way for these affordable houses. Let me begin with you, Mr. G. What do you make of this going for these lands of former people who were in power, kina Noah Wekesa, Amina Mohamed, Daudi Tonje? What do you make of it?
Okay, you know, Jex, this guy wakati aliingia, he had one role na focus yake ilikuwa kunyakua pesa na kujiweka kufikani. He wanted to reach ile stage ambao kina nani wamefika, ile empire ambao kina Uhuru wamepata. You see, Uhuru ni watu ambao wako na pesa. The family has a lot of money. A family of Raila pia, the same thing, they have a lot of money. This guy, when he came in, I think he came in to possess a lot of money. He came in to steal. Na sasa akiona these other guys ambao ni the former leaders wake wanakuwa kama threat, kwa sababu the moment ataendelea kuiba, the moment ataendelea kunyakua vile anapenda kunyakua, these people watakuwa stumbling block between him na vitu ambazo anataka kuchukua. That's why he has to take them out of the way. Ndio maana anatoa like kitu ambacho happen Western Kenya. This I think it's Amina Mohamed ama ule ambaye alivunjwa nyumba yake bila sababu kwa sababu ya this scam thing ambayo inaitwa housing something. Why is it that ana target yao peke yao? Mbona hezi kufuata the right channel ambayo inafaa itumike ndio aweze kupata hizo shamba? He just destroying these people kwa sababu amejaribu ku create fear. You know, this is a guy ambao amedestroy destroy institution something like parliament. Say parliament is nothing can do kwa sababu sasa wote wameshaingia in fear, wako upande wake. So he's going for courts. Akishaenda kwa courts sasa akaanza kunyakua hizo mashamba na kufrustrate these people, there's nowhere atapelekwa. You see, he has an agenda, and agenda yake ni kuwa anafaa frustrate those people ambao walikuwa ahead of him. Wakati anajinyakulia mahali kila wakati ya. So he had to frustrate everything. He just an anarchist, huyu jamaa.
Alex, what do you make of this going to pursue land that were acquired by previous regimes?
You know, during Boy's time, I can say it was a state of unrestrained political corruption, which I think sometimes like a kleptocracy, ruled by thieves. These people stole land like crazy. Watu walikuwa na hata Kalonzo is a beneficiary of the Yatta farm. The Yatta farm should be taken away from him. Because if we refuse to do so, the future will be bad. But not Ruto to do that. So I think there is bribery, there is crime, there is exploitation, there is extortion, and fraud by these people. These people did so many bad things during Moya. And what I'm saying is this. These things should be taken away from. Like, no, guys, how can you have 300,000 acres? No,
3,000.
Yeah, na watu wengi na Wakenya wengine hawana kitu chochote. That is immoral. That is immoral and unacceptable. Nasema kwa ndio lazima zichukuliwe, lakini kind of action that was there during Boy's time was so bad. We became defeated. The country degenerated into something else. No, I can't. It was because of corruption. You remember that it's famous case. So let this land be taken away. But I'm afraid that Ruto may take it personally to this. Yeah.
And the final newspaper we look at is Raila to unite his support base with the coastal tour. Now, of course, we began with Azimio, we end with Azimio. Bwana Alex or Mr. G, let me begin with Mr. G mwenye ako coast. Raila Odinga, he's on his tour of the coast region, of course, to marshal up more numbers for ODM and all. But we are yet to see Kalonzo doing this. We are yet to see Karua doing this. Really, these two other leaders, apart from Raila Odinga, how national are they? Because we don't see them work very hard in other areas apart from where they come from. Why is it that Raila goes to the coast, goes to Western, goes to Naru, is everywhere, right? But these others, as Alex had equally said, they work very hard, but only at their backyards. Why is that so? Mr. G?
Sorry, Jex, just I had something, I was working on something. Burudia your swali?
Raila Akogo Coast working on his tour, all right? He's working to popularize ODM, recruit more numbers, increase the membership of ODM and all. But Kalonzo, we are yet to see him do that. Karua, hata sijui tutaongelea yake aje, among many other leaders who, as much as tunasema akina Junet are disloyal and all, these are the leaders. At what point will they be seen to go out all over as Raila is doing here? We're talking of his tour to increase his unity, of course, in his support base, the coast region that is. But at what point will Kalonzo feature in the newspaper with such a headline? At what point will Karua as well feature in the newspaper with such a headline? After Baba does all the donkey work, wanataka kuwa endorsed na waatiwe all these numbers and everything else.
Yeah, the main reason kuwa wanataka waachiwe, wanataka kuwa endorsed. They don't know kuwa in power you have to take it by force. You have to fight for it. These guys wanataka wawe endorsed, and that's why they are losing it. That's why we told that mtu kama Kalonzo he lacks that muscle kwa sababu hawezi jitokeza. So unajua inatupatia that picture kuwa he's a person ambaye hana pesa ya kucampaign. He cannot campaign. Na sasa kama unataka presidency and yet you can't campaign, huwezi faulu. So these guys are kwamba wana expect kuwa endorsed, and that thing cannot work.
Raila, sorry, Alex, same question.
You know, some of the things that I like about Baba is very industrious, assiduous, energetic, engaged. He works hard, is active, is bursting. Yani Baba forces himself. Yani he's so preoccupied with what he does. He's so concentrating with us. He's so laborious. He works tirelessly. He's so immersed in his work, and he's so vigorous. But these other people, they are so lazy, extremely lazy. Bloody Jakes. So Kalonzo, ukimwangalia vizuri, Kalonzo is a very lazy person. He's a very lazy person. I don't know if it's not Baba, Ujamaa Kumano anyway. At this point, he has been in politics. Angekuwa na ndege at least, naelewa anatumia ndege ya Baba. So for me, I hate the fact that ako indolent and slothful. Yule jamaa by now anatakana anazunguka because tulimwendorse mpaka tukasema tunataka kuwe rais wetu, but jamaa ni idler. You know, jamaa,
but alisema 2024 ndio ile mwaka, lakini ni kana kwamba bado hajaruka mwaka because we are yet to see many activities from him this 2024.
nikwambia, the guy is just lazy. The guy is just lazy. He can't, you know, wacha nikwambie, he's a coach potato. Huyu jamaa anaweza kaa tu chini tu afanye tu, utacheka.
You know, zile adjectives unatoa leo we sawa tu.
No, the guy is lazy.
You remind me of Kenya Rebel, but go ahead.
The guy doesn't care. He's aloof and is detached from the reality. The guy is totally indifferent. Sasa tutamforce aje? Saa hii angeteka advantage aende Mombasa na Baba, hata kama ni meeting ya ODM, amiti Wakamba huko, unaelewa? But because he's in Karias, hakuna kitu atafanya. Utamuona kesha ako Ukambani, utamuona Kitui. The guy is just mindless. I don't like. He's so doopy. Wachana na yeye. Huyo hatutamsaidia.
How comes he's unable to work with other governors? He had a problem with former Makueni governor, Mr. Kifuta Kibwana. He's having a problem now with the governor. I'm not saying they're having a problem, rather, nani Mtula Kilonzo amekanyangia story. He's not all over, yeah? Amekanyangia the Kitui governor as well. You remember at one point all the three governors didn't want to have an association with him. That was Charity, Mutua, and Kibwana. And this time, apart from Wavinya Ndeti, we are yet to see any governor come close to him and have a working relationship with Kalonzo, as you'd expect. So, as much as you're saying he's working so hard in Cumberland, why is it that we are yet to see governors as well? Because we see governors from Nyanza working so close with Raila Odinga. What's the problem with Kalonzo Musyoka?
Maybe Mr. G atajibu. I don't want to talk about Kalonzo.
Mr. G was I was quite emotional, bwana. We are talking of Kalonzo, the future of Azimio. Mr.
He's
G,
bad mannered.
mhm. Mr.
Lakini
G,
at the
what do
same
you
time,
make of that?
but at the same time, Mr. G
Mm.
wacha sema.
Mr. G, what do you make of that?
Alex, just go ahead. Kuna kitu nilikuwa namalizia. Just a minute. Just go ahead nitakumalizia.
Mkianza kunitos hivyo nitaanza kufanya ile kitu. But Alex, go ahead.
Yeah, unajua Kalonzo to know how to manage his people and his party. Kalonzo doesn't know how to manage his party. Unaelewa? He does not know how to manage his party kabisa. He should put his like Edwin Sifuna is one of the best secretary general for parties in the whole of Kenya. Even Malala hawezi fikia Edwin Sifuna. He's so effective. So this Wambua man looks so effective. He should put him there. Aanze
Alex? All right. But this is what you find in your standard today. They're saying that Raila out to unite his support base with the coast tour. It continues by saying ODM leader begins his visit of the coast counties, a traditional base that has been eroded by the government or by government and locals who seek to have a voice. However, with his recent forays of Western Kenya bearing fruits, this visit is of high significance. Of course, a quote from Raila: "We want to give an opportunity to the younger people to register as voters. The recruitment drive will culminate in a grassroots party election in April." My final questions to you guys about ODM party elections. Will that ever happen? Let me begin with you, Alex. Will we ever have a party
no,
elections, a
wacha
true
Mr.
one
G.
yenye?
I'm talking too much. Wacha Mr. G pia aongee. Unajua hii sasa ni kuwa monotonous.
No, no, he's on a call. But will we ever have a party elections? The last time we tried to have it, it didn't work out so well. Will we ever have a
For
good
what?
one?
For what purpose? We
So
have leaders that we like.
okay, so we don't need to have a party primaries and all grassroots party elections.
So uliona Jubilee ikikuwa naye.
But yeah, UDA I think ilikuwa happen last year while we pushed to this year, na ni kama pia
It
hiyo
will
story
never
imeenda
happen.
chini ya
It
maji.
will never happen. Ruto alitoa ule mwanamke Mkikuyu, akatoa nani huyu jamaa Mkamba anaitwa aje? This Johnson Budhava. Akamtoa kule, akaweka tena watu wengine. Was there an election? Wacha
But
kuingilia
they
party
serve as
election.
an interim base as we wait for
Wacha hiyo maneno. Wewe jiulize. Let's talk about UDA kama will they ever have elections?
no you know, I think you're already now emotional because of
I'm not
Azimio, but it's
emotional.
well.
I'm not
I
emotional.
understand.
I'm only
Mhm,
saying that look,
mhm.
our party, we don't need election. We have an
All
SG
right.
that we like.
Uh-huh.
Mbadi tunampenda. For what purpose should you have elections when you
All
have
right.
effective people?
All right. Okay. Mr. G, your closing remarks and your sentiments if you're in a position to. All right. I see Mr. G is engaged. I understand a job. Alex, your closing remarks.
No, I mean, I want my country to be better. You know,
Uh-huh.
we love our country. We engage
Uh-huh.
each other. Black aliogopa
Mhm.
akatoroka, sijui ni kwa nini. He's doing nothing.
Alikuwa amejiomba kidogo.
Wacha kumtetea. This guy is becoming lazy,
but
hataki
but but
kusupport.
but, but, but asha comment hapo chini anasema great discussion.
It would
Ah,
have been greater if he was here because the guy is smart. But when you start
ah. Naona hapa jamaa anajiita wrecked ship. Wrecked ship, how are you? Wrecked ship, I see you. I don't know if you can see me and hear me. All right. Yes, Alex.
so your active ameingia kwa panel.
Yes, wrecked ship.
Yeah,
I see you. Can you hear me? Wrecked ship. All right. Okay. So thank you guys for being part of this morning show. I think I'm unable to get wrecked ship vizuri, but equally asante sana those who made time to be part of this great show. Sorry, we
Just give him an opportunity, maybe akusikii vizuri.
wrecked ship. Can you hear me?
can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
There was a problem with my earphones. It could.
Oh, I know you. I
Tomorrow
know
is
you,
better
my
with
friend. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks.
Yes. What do you make of the conversation we are having?
What notion?
What do you make of the conversations that we have been having?
Yeah, I've been following the conversation. Actually, I've been part of the conversation since they started. I'm in the
Uh-huh.
comments as Dr. Recap. I've been following up everything, and it's been a
Uh-huh.
very good show, very
Uh-huh.
interactive.
Uh-huh.
Alex was very, as usual, educative in his talks.
Uh-huh.
Akijaribu educate black hapa, I've been through it all, and I'm enjoying
Uh-huh.
the show basically. I'm
Okay.
really, yeah.
Uh-huh. Maybe a quick one. What do you make of Kalonzo? Why is he not coming out to grow himself to be the leader, a national person who many can embrace and probably even hand him the presidency?
Yeah, my take on Kalonzo is that Kalonzo is more of a lone wolf at this moment.
All right.
He finds himself to his own. He's almost a breakaway child yenye anataka to get the freedom that he wanted. So now I think it's high time that he'll try and make a move. It might not be as significant as he hopes it to be, but he'll definitely try and take a move and see where it leads in his political career. A
Okay.
desperate move because, just like Alex said, the guy only tours his regions. He's not a nationwide leader.
Uh-huh.
He's more of a tribal leader, the local tribal chief.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you see him ever coming out to be the leader who will ever make a presidency? Because to be a president, you have the country needs to embrace you, not a region. The country needs to embrace you. At what point do you see that happening? Because maybe he's busy waiting for an endorsement, but with only an endorsement from Raila Odinga, will that alone make him president, really?
No, that in itself cannot guarantee him to get the seat.
Mm-hmm.
For you to get the seat, it takes more than an endorsement. An endorsement
Okay.
really helps, but charisma plays a bigger role. How
Uh-huh.
you present yourself to the people, because it's the
Uh-huh.
people, the same people that are going to choose you. So
Okay.
everything counts. It's not only the endorsement. If it were endorsement, then I'm
Uh-huh.
pretty sure the one endorsing him will have gotten the seat. So it takes
Uh-huh.
more than endorsement to get the seat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe if I may ask you from where you sit, and I know this can be a close topic to you, is Junet Mohamed a mole?
Junaid Mohamed could be a mole. He could be. I'm not denying the fact that he could be, because in politics is a very dirty game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, politics. is usually for the time being. Most politicians take it as a season. There are these politicians that we call seasonal politicians, and those that we call hardcore line politicians. So there are these who hop in and hop out. Those are seasonal politicians. Those can come and go, and mostly they are the rats inside the groups. Junet is such a
Oh,
case. He's a seasonal politician.
okay. Maybe what would you say concerning Nyoro and Rigathis fight of supremacy?
The fight for kingpinship. It's
Aha.
it's 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 a recurring scene in Kenyan politics.
Mm-hmm.
It occurs all the time. We're used to this politics, but they cannot be two leaders that are leading one region. So
Uh-huh.
eventually, the people themselves are going to pick is either Rigathi. I don't
Uh-huh.
see a possibility of them picking Rigathi because
Uh-huh.
Ndindi has more potential and the guy has better charisma than Rigathi. Rigathi is more conservative. He is more conservative. Ni mtu wenye ana ushamba mingi. You know those hardlined wenye things hawezi kuchange and in the other hand
Mm.
we have a young man who's a progressive. So hiyo
Uh-huh.
lazima itakuwa tussle.
Uh-huh.
Lakini hapo ishajulikana tu nani hapo atachukua. It's a
Uh-huh.
younger guy with full of charisma.
Mm-hmm. And finally, if I may ask you as well, what do you make of this fact that he is a deputy president, but it seems that he might not grow to the level of being president? What could be wrong with him? We have had other guys who had the potential to grow. What is his issue that seems he can't shake off, that he can't grow from that level? Because that level he was picked by William Ruto, so we would say he was picked. But from that onwards, it seems to be difficult for him to progress from there. What do you make of him?
I wouldn't say that Rigathi is well mastered in the art of politics.
Mm-hmm.
Rigathi is still a very fresh. We almost say he's a newbie in politics. I think that's the reason why Ruto picked him.
Mm-hmm.
Ruto did not want to succeed
Uh-huh.
after him. Ruto wanted someone
Mm-hmm.
who was iron will and
Mm-hmm.
also subservient in nature.
Mm-hmm.
As much as we find Rigathi to be hostile,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure he's hostile to Ruto. He's subservient in
Mm-hmm.
some way. That's why he was picked. But
Mm-hmm.
he lacks the will to carry the determination forward and be president. He lacks it.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, he
Mm-hmm.
lacks it. Don't see a
All
president.
right. All right. Rec ship nitafute umenyamaziana hapo nyuma ya tent, you know where we normally meet. Nitafute.
I
I'll
look
have
for you,
you.
I look for you. Today, you said I had to be on the show.
Yeah. Nitafute. I know we have a conversation we ought to have. We will definitely plan it so well.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Rec ship. And umeingia na jina kali, but sawa. Bwana Alex, anything to add?
Yeah, I think that this guy huyu kijana wetu amekuja, I think anajua politics vizuri sana. He needs to be coming to the panel so that hizi vitu tunachambua tu tunamalizanga tu mapema tu tunaenda.
He has been coming, ni venye, as I've told you, amepotea huko nyuma ya tent, but he is a guy. At times we used to have just me and him, a show of two, eh? So
Oh,
he's a
really?
good guy. He's well balanced as well.
Yeah, I can see that. And it's a patriot,
Yeah.
and he's a person who speaks the truth. He's not a fanatic, you know, not like Kenya Rebel. You know, Kenya Rebel can decide to say Raila is a terrorist. Kenya Rebel can call us a terrorist.
All
And
right.
you
Mr. G, are you able to say something?
Yeah, I really just comment on what our guy has said, our visitor. Although you are saying that he's not a visitor, but it's a guy that is
Yeah, he's not.
upright. Ni mtu ambaye, yeah.
He's not. Ni jamaa, maybe mkimjua tu, He's a regular actually. I know him
Yeah,
personally.
but it's an
Yeah.
yeah, but it's an open mind person ambaye anaongea ukweli, and is a person the way Alex amesema he should be joining every time and then, because you know the moment you talk to somebody ambaye ako open mind, mna discuss kitu mzuri kuliko somebody ambaye anakuja anakuwa bias, anaongea vitu za uongo ambazo hazieleweki. So I congratulate the guy, although sioni jina yake, yeye niko kwa barabara afu I'm using the phone, sasa siwezi ona jina yake, but I congratulate and I agree with what he said, although sijamjua lakini nitamjua tu baadaye.
All right.
Okay.
Fantastic. Rec Chip, Honorable Alex, Mr. G, and Black, who equally was in the show. Thank you so much for making part of this great conversation. You noticed we didn't play a single clip. Yeah? We didn't play a single clip despite the request all over. But thank you so much for making this show to be a success. Thank you so much. Equally, our
At least
able
ungeplay clip
commentators.
ya baba wakati aliongea during Jaramogi. You could have been fair, man.
There's a reason I didn't play it because hii show imekuwa fupi but sweet. I want to have all those clips for evening because topic ya Johnny ni moto. You don't want to miss that one. You don't want to miss our evening show. That one will have more juice and more meat than this one. So stick around from 10 p.m. Kenyan time. I think it will be 2 p.m. In the US or thereabout. Itakuwa 2 p.m. in Canada. Itakuwa very early evening. No, yeah, very early morning. Sorry, it will be very quite early in the morning in Australia. In the UK mtakuwa ndio mnaelekea majioni hivi, but Kenyan time itakuwa 10 p.m. East African time. So let's meet at that time and have another awesome conversation here at Afrique 24. And wadau, kindly remember to subscribe. Subscribe to Afrique 24 and let's keep the conversation going. You guys are just but fantastic. This is Afrique in the morning. This was your morning review show. We had a good one, all right? We had a good one, but equally in the evening, we'll have another one. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to leave it at that particular juncture, but see you in the evening. Have a fantastic day, fantastic afternoon, fantastic morning, and may God do you well. And as always, as I've always prayed for you, that may your name today be mentioned in room filled with opportunities, all right? Have a fantastic evening, a fantastic morning. See you in the evening. Make time for us. Make time for Afrique 24 at 10 p.m. Kenyan time. East African time, itakuwa 10 p.m. We'll have another great conversation here at Afrique 24. Kindly, brethren and ladies, consider subscribing to Afrique 24. Make this your #1 channel. I had promised to begin another song. I'll begin it in the evening. So, as usual, I'll do what I normally do. I'll leave you with this one that you have come to love and enjoy. Thank you. I've been your host, Jakes, the moderator. See you guys at 10 p.m. Goodbye, good morning, good afternoon. God bless you.
Tunasonga mbele watu wote wa Jamhuri Kenya yetu. Tunasonga mbele watu wote wa Jamhuri Kenya yetu. Haya sisi sote wananchi tushangilie. Kwa Jamhuri, kwa Jamhuri, sote kwa Jamhuri Kenya yetu yaenda mbele. Kwa Jamhuri, sote kwa Jamhuri, kwa Jamhuri Kenya yetu yaenda mbele. Mwaka wa 60 umefika, tangu Kenya iwe huru. Mwaka wa 60 umefika, tangu Kenya iwe huru. Haya sisi sote wananchi tushangilie.